Yo, what's good? You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. My
Okay,
son
there you
over
go.
here. Yeah, no, what's popping though?
Oh man, some more of it. Welcome to another episode of the Free Your Mind podcast, where you can come to free your mind and help others free theirs. I'm the co-host, and I'll go by the name of Woon, and I'm all about balance, like the bride and the groom. What's popping?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I go by the name of Selfmade. Now, what's up with my? I'm gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, I go by the name of Selfmade. You gotta tap in with self to know thyself always, man.
Yes, sir. My bad. I'm on here trying to eat and shit. Shout out to the. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. Hold up. Make sure this shit is public on the book. But yeah, man, what's the latest and greatest? Are you muted right now?
I be forgetting I be on mute and then how to take that motherfucker off and shit. But yeah, nah, man. Another dollar, another day, another dollar, another week. Chilling, man. Same old same. I had sprained my ankle last week trying to hoop and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Niggas is getting too old. You know what I mean? Like I can't do all the same shit I was doing back in the day when I was hooping.
Hey, if you get too old, that means I'm just out of the game for real. It's
All
it's a rizzy.
right.
I remember one of the last times I was out hooping with my son and shit. But my son understands now. He back when he was younger, he thought I was goddamn MJ for sure. As he got older, he was like, "All right, Dad, what we doing?" Like, you know what I mean?
Like, you ain't really him like
Yeah,
that, man. You ain't
you ain't
really
that guy
him.
on the hoop court, my guy. And but I still get out there and fuck with him. But
Right.
anyway, one of the last times that I was out there fucking with him, I think I had a pair of my Vapor Maxes on and shit, and they got the fucking bubble bottom and shit, and I went to bust a
Mm-hmm.
move to do something, and I'm talking about I took myself out of the game in both ways. I'm talking about I was out of there, and I'm sitting there. And I'm like, nigga, why the fuck am I breathing so hard? So I'm like, oh no, you need to get back in shape, pops. And I'm like, oh shit.
Uh-huh. That be the
Yeah.
ones, boy, when you get took out, you like, wait a second.
Yeah, I told him, yeah, I'm gonna just shoot threes for the rest of for the duration of we out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't be doing all that little fancy shit.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Just let me shoot my threes and it's up.
Mm-hmm. So with the chat, peace to the chat. Whoever up in here, got a couple of them in here. Do us a favor and like the video, share, comment. Come holler at us one time.
Definitely.
We got
I can't even see my. Oh, shit, my bad.
how you do that?
It's a chat overlay to where they see flip
Oh,
right there.
yeah. So everybody, because I think that's a good little thing. Because I think when people get on from like YouTube or Facebook, they can't see.
They can't see anybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
You wanna keep it like that for a little bit?
yeah. We can see how it's rocking.
Definitely. Because I'm trying to. I can see. I hate when that shit be doing that because I can see the fucking. I'm looking at my Facebook on my phone and I see people tapping. Let me shout them out real quick. So we got
All right.
Nanny Soto in the building. Was popping. We got John Taylor in the building. Was popping. So I can't see their comments on the screen because you can see them, right?
Yeah, I can see him.
That's bananas.
I wonder why they're not. I'm surprised they not popping up on the. You feel me? Where you had the chat overlay.
Yeah, I think that has.
I was gonna say somebody drop something in the chat real quick.
Right.
Test it out, man. See if that shit will pop up on screen.
Hey, hit that chat overlay on your end and see if it
Oh, okay, there go one.
On your side, because my shit bugging right now.
Let me move this out the way. There we go. All right, look.
Yeah, so we damn, what are we talking about?
Topic: does social media help or
Yeah,
hurt relationships?
that's gonna be the first one for sure. The second one is gonna be talking about the new Little Mermaid.
Yeah, they've been thrashing that shit. I've been seeing.
My God. I mean, whatever one motherfuckers want to bust open first and is up.
Shit. Yeah, probably that Little Mermaid. We could bust
I was
that one
gonna say,
open.
yeah. To me,
Yeah.
man, hey, it's crazy that a mermaid does not literally exist.
That's funny
Why
as
is
hell.
people tripping about a mermaid that does not exist in real life? Why does
About
it have
what?
to be a certain race? What the fuck is popping with that shit? I don't get it. I don't understand that. Now,
That shit don't make no
if there's
sense.
a real mermaid and that motherfucker was Mexican, I'd be like, all right, nigga, y'all niggas know that mermaids is not black, nigga. They only
Right.
Mexican. They only come in.
Right. For real though. Nigga, or else they gotta catch one, nigga, or something, bro, to try to show that, you know what I'm saying, show and prove, nigga, that what they look like for real. But
Right. But
yeah, they
motherfuckers,
doing too much. That's like that B.O.B. song where in the beginning that nigga say, what that nigga say? Before you start the game, you gotta create a player.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they worried about the wrong shit, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. They like, oh, they used to the cartoon, you know. So it's like, okay, the cartoon, she was white,
Right.
and bro, some of the memes going around is crazy. Like, and I don't know, like, what you think about this? Like, they, like, you know, it's a lot of people talking about this Little Mermaid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Right.
they doing this shit on social media. That's why I'm like, it's something up with social media when it comes to a lot of these types of topics, especially dealing with race. It's like a lot of people that you may not, you don't know, or you know what I'm saying? Like they be on some whole racist ass shit,
Right.
quote unquote. And but like in real life, you know what I'm saying? It's like social media and real life just do not be matching up. The Michael Jackson one.
The
What you
Michael.
talking?
Oh,
Look,
I think I know what she's talking about.
one of the memes.
Yeah, and it has something to do with color and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
They got a lot out, man. And it's, again, when it comes down to it, we're talking about even if it was a cartoon, you still got to understand in your mind that that is just a cartoon. This shit is all fiction. The fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
But let's can we observe the other side of this on some real type of time? Because they put out so many different movies. If we gonna make it argument, let's make it fair, right?
Right.
So they made so many different movies that they know, and I'm gonna have to keep it a bend, that niggas was supposed to have place important.
Man.
Let me not only say niggas because they put out a movie, The Last Samurai shit. Like nigga was, and then he had nothing to do with being who sound right? Japanese shit. Like it was no
Right.
Japanese motherfucker playing that shit. So what
Yeah,
are we
that's a
talking
fact.
about for real? And
That's like how
motherfuckers
they
getting
did the
mad over
guys
a
that eat.
cartoon.
What'd you say?
I said, and motherfuckers getting mad over a cartoon.
Hey, no, hey. Remember, we just didn't take it as far, but remember when they came out with the gods of Egypt and them niggas was white?
That too.
You know what I'm saying?
Horrible.
It was hella black people like, what the fuck? They know, you know what I'm saying? Whoopty whoop. Like, so I can see the contrast of like what, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
still, it's just like, nigga, we know that them niggas was. That's the only difference. It ain't no fiction. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, we know the color of them niggas. Like, y'all gonna put some, y'all gonna spray paint these niggas bronze and shit to try to, give them some color a little bit. Right. Like, y'all tripping, bruh. But yeah, for a cartoon, that shit, that I don't understand.
I think it's great promo, if anything. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
It might be Disney doing all the memes and shit. That might be,
bruh. They got content creators for that shit.
right.
That's why I'm like, yeah, I can't. They probably really did that shit for the money, the publicity, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying?
Then you got social media. Only thing you gotta do is drop it off in social media. That shit gonna blow up.
Yeah, niggas finna take it and run with it.
They ain't even gotta do no commercials for that motherfucker. It's already done. It's already up. Like, nigga.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I just don't see why people be so much in their goddamn feelings now. But not to say that when situations like that play out, you don't see people true colors about how they feel, about that shit. And there's some memes I've seen. I'm like, God damn, like niggas can't live, be like, the fuck is popping? And it's hella funny because from my children's book, hey, I'm still gonna drop my children's book for everybody who watching this shit.
Yeah, bro, we've been waiting on that.
Man, I've been waiting too. It got something to do because my characters are black.
They delaying it and shit, man.
My characters are black and they like, I don't know how we want to put this
shit right now,
bro. How we gonna market this? I don't know. Niggas is kind of in style right now. You might have to wait. But no, but when I was and not well, I don't even think I said that I came out and said it was gonna be black characters, but when I put it out there, a lot of people would send me up like, yeah, that's gonna be a good look. Like, you know what I mean? Because whatever is out there is out there. Some people choose to stay away from that, so they choose like animals, you know what I mean, or certain little different shit like that. So me personally, I made it a point to make my characters black. One, because I'm black. Let's get that shit, out there in the open. Two, just to put that stamp on it, man. And I think that every now and again we do need that solidified stamp, like, you know what I mean? Because we do have a specific history. We do have, certain avenues that hasn't been widely ostracized to where we put in that work. And I just want to make sure that if I'm going to do my Dougie, that that I'm just trying to contribute to that aspect of the game and shit. Feel me? For sure.
And I mean, it's becoming more prevalent now, as far as people doing more black kids books, you know what I mean, shows like a lot of kids shows. Like I had put my son on Akili and Jules, and you know what I mean, certain stuff that relates to just us and how we are, you know what I mean? Definitely. So it's becoming more prevalent, but shit, back in our day, like back when we was kids, bro, they didn't really have, you know what I mean? It was very few kids books or, let alone TV shows and cartoons and stuff that was just all black production, and you know what I mean? So
definitely,
yeah, that's what's up, you know what I mean? And to just because we know what they was doing anyways, you know what I mean, as far as like trying to change the mindset of the children, like all the play with the white dolls over the black dolls.
And just to say that,
it's a trip.
Yeah, but again, man, we're living in a whole different type of time, and one thing that I would have to say that's kind of helped pushing all of these good narratives along, we have to take our hat off to hip hop, like, you know what I mean? In a certain aspect, I know the movie aspect, not to disrespect nobody that's like the Sidney Poitiers and everybody else that was coming through the movie scene at that time, but I think the culture right now. If we have any culture that's here in America, you know, as Black Americans, like, you know what I mean? Our culture is hip hop like a motherfucker, like, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
the force is so strong that it, you know, it stepped outside of, you know, our communities and neighborhoods and spilled over because everybody's like, nigga, this shit is the freest, dopest shit ever. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
so I think that when that started catching on, and then you get motherfuckers that was in a position of power that may not be Black to help push that envelope as well. So then that's taking it outside of the, you know, our community. So now it's just like shit, nigga, that shit is
Mm-hmm.
lit. Like that's the thing to be. That's the place to be. That's what's popping. And
Exactly.
I think that it just helped open up so many different doors, like, you know what I mean, to be accepted by certain shit. To where now, man, I know I was watching certain cartoons that's out right now, you know, just fucking with my niece and shit, and my brother was playing some cartoons that they got out, and a lot of that shit is hip hop. Like
Yeah.
they remade all the fucking the nursery rhymes and shit. They put a beat to it. They got motherfuckers on the hook. They got the shit.
Right.
We're just like, this is the now generation. This is where it's at with this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Just like
Yeah,
you said,
that's
the
a
way back
fact.
in the day, we wasn't finna get that shit as kids. Like, hell no. Like, what the fuck is that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's popping right now. Like, you know what I mean? So uh I think that, you know, just circling back around, I think that people should have been accepted anything that's gonna come through with anything that has something to do with melanin or a specific hue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's up. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
been up, but it's been hid as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right, exactly.
You're
Yeah,
you're damn
man.
you're damn to be you're damn near fumble the bag trying to, you know, do it any other type of way.
Exactly. You trying to you trying to do it on they scale and shit.
Right.
Like nah, you got to stay in your bag. And it's good now that you know what I'm saying, people. Because I don't know, like back in the day, you had that select group of people that was, you know, on that type of time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Want to support the Black people and you know they endeavors and all of that type of stuff, but it just wasn't as prevalent as it is now. So
Facts.
you know that's why yeah, it's dope to see you know the young life doing that type of shit, promoting it. You know what I'm saying? People our age and up doing that and promoting it. Cause yeah, that shit, nigga, that shit is it is what it is. It's up for real. You know what I'm saying? On
Right.
our scale, like just naturally.
Yeah. They should have been y'all should have been ready when they put out the Frog Princess. It should have been up from there.
Right. Yeah, for
That shit
real.
should have been up from there. Like, yep, it's
Like
up.
like the Oz movie. Or they got the Wizard of Oz and then they got Oz.
Oh no, you talking about the Wiz?
Or the Wiz. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that whole thing to me was like, why the fuck is there two? You know, you got a black version and then you
Yeah.
got the white version. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
and
I'm sorry. Go
didn't
ahead.
the black version come out first? Am I tripping?
Ooh, because
Oh, it did. Okay.
yeah, the other one came out like 19 in like the 40s or some shit.
Yeah, they did have like a black and white, damn near a black and white version of that shit.
Yeah, then they had to re-put it out. But that, hey, just to touch on that a little bit, because you know I saw the original one first, but my grandma loved that fucking R.I.P. to my grandma, but she loved that movie, and she had the 12-inch vinyl, you know, for the soundtrack and shit. So if we're not watching the
Mm.
movie, then she used to play the soundtrack, like, you know what I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
that shit was lit. But just seeing that and seeing how it is, man, and seeing how they did it, seeing why they did it. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's still the same story, but you just get a different perspective. It's jazzed up, like, you know what I mean? People can fuck with it.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? So it was just a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that they did it. Like, and this is what I mean. Like, when it comes down to just putting your stamp on something or just making sure that, like, you know what I mean, you do your contribution, you know, you're gonna make history with that shit like every time. Like, you know what I mean?
Classics, like real life classics, some shit you could just watch right now. You could watch in 5 years, 10. Like it don't matter. That shit timeless. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. That fucking soundtrack still slap. I'm thinking about sampling some shit off that.
Man, Mike done, you know what I'm saying? Shit, anything with Mike on there,
Yeah,
it's
God.
up.
Yeah, and the cast was
The
crazy.
cast was crazy. They had Richard Pryor in that thing, man. They had it was too lit, bro. the
Right.
whole the whole
Diana Ross,
cast,
Lena Horne. I
bro.
know the Tin Man. I know he was. He's a singer too. I forgot his name, but they got squad on that
Mm,
motherfucker for sure.
yeah, that was going up for sure.
But yeah, so again, man, just I think that when these, because for the most part, I think that automatically, a certain demographic of people are automatically going to support it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, there's always going to be the motherfuckers who's going to say, "Nah, this shouldn't be that. That shouldn't be that." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Spark the
And
shit up,
try not to go see it or not spend their money on this shit or whatever.
right? Try to demonize it or put it into a certain narrative, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all promotion at the end of the day. Just like I said, it might be Disney.
Mm-hmm. Nah, for real, Disney man, shit. That's like this new Woman King shit movie that's out. I think I was telling you about that. Like
Yeah,
they like looking at it like, oh, Amazonian warriors, and like, you know what I'm saying, on that black, because it's a full black cast and that whole
right.
nine, and then you find out that them same people was actually taking black people and selling them off to the Europeans, that exact tribe and shit. You know what I mean? It's like people don't be knowing that type of history.
Yeah,
But they're making it seem like, you know what I'm saying, like how they're promoting it and putting it out, and how everybody's talking like, hey, yeah, we got another like Black Panther type
Black
movie,
Panther. Exactly.
and that not knowing like you supporting black people, pretty much taking other black people and enslaving them or selling them to the Europeans to be, enslaved, pretty much.
Yeah, that's bananas. I think.
It
Oh,
is
I mean,
really
well,
bananas.
it's still something to see, though. I will say that
Yeah,
is still
definitely.
for sure. Um, but see, on top of that, because and I'm not saying that they did it, for promotional purposes, because there was a matriarch, in different times in different regions and shit.
Right.
Um, but just to have the woman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
they called her a king, right? Am I bugging?
Yeah.
And called
Yeah.
her a king.
Uh-huh.
Man, up.
Man, I seen something. I
What is
seen somebody
up?
say something about that shit. Like, because they called her a king, they was like, "Oh, they trying to." I see somebody say some crazy. Oh, they trying to demasculate the men by putting, you feel me, the women as king type shit.
Right.
I'm like, man, these niggas be coming, bruh. So that's why I'm like, social media is not to be taken serious at all, bro. Them niggas to say anything on that motherfucker, bruh, for reals.
Yeah, nah, I seen a meme that was opposite of the woman being the king. It was like a male queen. I forgot who they used. It was hilarious. I said,
uh,
oh, these niggas is fucking.
bro, I'm telling you, them
These
niggas will
niggas,
come up with anything, bro.
yeah, hey, the internet is a dangerous place, man. Social media is dangerous. You gotta know how to wiggle around this motherfucker.
Bruh, I'm telling you. I mean,
Oh, shit.
you could just tell right off like the Little Mermaid shit. All they
Yeah,
gotta do is drop the trailer on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? She had a 5 second little intro at the end, and everybody went nuts, yo.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they do it, bro. Like, social media is the new form of promotion for sure. They don't even have to have commercials for shit no more. Like, nigga, they could just drop a trailer, throw that shit on social media, and niggas is finna do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a fact.
that shit crazy, bro.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, again, if you already tapped in with whatever the original one is, I don't think that that's going to deter you from
From
going to go
watching
watch
it.
this new one, or taking your young life to go tap in with it. Like, you know what I mean? So again,
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole different time, man. But
All right.
I still got to check out the and I don't I keep on forgetting the title, but I think it's called the Black Queen. I'm sorry, the Black King. What is it called? The woman. What is it called? The Woman King.
Woman King.
Woman
Yeah,
King.
I'm like, wait.
I still got to tap in with that. But speaking of the Woman King, and relationships and who plays a role in what, we can bust
Yeah.
open this next topic, man, and it's kind of bananas. Just thinking about, like, again, what we're talking about social media as well, and like it's a dangerous place, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
when dealing with that with relationships, right? Um, and you want to know what I wanted to have a poll on this shit to see what people thought when it comes down to, does it help relationships or does it hurt relationships, right?
Mm.
You know what I mean, or at least give some type of clarity to that question, because I guess it could kind of go like either way.
Right,
Uh,
right.
but when it comes down to it, knowing that we're in the Insta age, right? Everything is immediate. I want it right now. I ain't got time to
Mm-hmm.
wait for that shit. If you ain't feeling me, guess what? I got 1,000 niggas in my inbox right now.
Right, right.
The attention that I need. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just to have that, okay, that's absolutely fine. Just to have that thought is absolutely fine. But some motherfuckers is out here acting on that thought, like, you know what I mean, or acting on that information. It's
Right,
like,
right.
oh, you with me? Oh, you ain't called me cute today. Guess what? You know what I mean? I'm gonna go get on, nigga, activate my inbox and shit. Had
Right.
had a niggas hella juice to that be in there like, hey queen, such and such and such. Oh, this bitch hit back, nigga. Come on, man. And then just to not fuck with that nigga anyway, like,
Right. Exactly.
dude, like, I got these niggas, like come on. But
That
I
shit
guess,
crazy, bruh. It's almost like they get they, especially for this new generation coming up, like they
yeah,
damn near getting what it means to be in a relationship from social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shit cold. And that's why I say, like, you got to really be careful with social media, because I don't like none of this shit real. You know what I mean? Like, this
right.
social media for real is like, nigga, the new Hollywood. You know what I mean? They know they manipulating everything. They can show you what the fuck they want to show you, how they like, you know what I'm saying? All this AI technology shit, you don't even know if a video you watching is a real person talking behind the screen or if it's a robot. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
So it's just like you got all of these posts, kind of like that. Just using this as an example, that McDonald's shit when the baby dad brought McDonald's for his son,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
you find out a week later that shit was a whole ass skit.
yeah. Exactly.
But people like taking that shit like it's a real relation. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get like that shit probably happens for real. But
Right.
at the same time, they're setting it up to give you a certain vision of, you know what I'm saying? Some shit. Now you taking this shit back and perceiving it, and now you having a whole ass conversation about some shit that ain't even real. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I see that being like, you just got to be careful if you looking at certain people's relationship from social media and you don't know them for real in real life. You know what I'm saying? They could be
Right.
portraying all types of shit. They could be showing you just what they want to show you. You know what I mean? Like, it really is a whole Hollywood nigga form on social media now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that traces or spills over into the relationship goals hashtags, like, you know what I mean, like it's just like relationship goals, like, and it could be something to where you got a chick, body right, looking good, hair done, everything up, drive a nice car, dude, you know what I'm saying, same thing, body right, probably keep a clean cut, like, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
school, got a nice car, boom, they take a picture, they take 2 pictures, they take 3 pictures. Relationship goals. You don't know what the fuck these niggas got going on
At
outside of
all.
just that at all. And they like, but that's the goal though. The goal,
Exactly.
so the goal is to what I just said. The goal is to look like everything is up.
Exactly. Which is fraudulent. Nigga, these niggas is
That's the goal. Look like everything is cool.
right, right. Hey, we about to go outside in public. You niggas was just arguing. the past whole week and shit. Now y'all outside acting like everything good, taking pictures and posting shit on like, yeah,
Hey,
it's a
this
facade, bro.
that should remind me. This is a true story. My son was like, he had to be like 2, maybe 3 years old, right? And I took him to Howell Park, like you know what I mean. I took him to Howell Park and shit. We up there chilling, and for whatever reason, I was tapped in with this dude that was up there. He had like 2 or 3 kids with him. And so they got there after us, like you know what I mean. But that's probably why I was paying attention because they got there after us and they came onto the playground. This, I promise you, I love my people. This nigga had them get on one of the little climbing shits, right? Paused them while they was there, snapped a picture, took them kids back to the car and banged out.
For real?
I swear on my life. Facts. I said, this nigga, he must got a child support case. I take care of mine.
We be out doing all types of shit. Like, damn.
I just imagine how many different instances that he does. Like, if you do that at the park, you don't do that everywhere. Like, you know, you don't even gotta be buying them ice cream. Just go stand in front of the ice cream truck real quick.
Right, take a photo. They don't know, like they can't tell you what what's really going on behind the photo.
Man, nigga, we was there. You see it? Like, hey, but that shit blew my fucking mind because I thought it was just like I think that shit was date movie with Sean Wayans when he was like, "Yeah, I came to pick up my son." It came, picked up his son, sitting back down, and he banged out. And I knew it was hella funny to see that, but to see the shit in real life, it was just like that nigga just did what? But you know, again, just reflecting that back to social media, just like what looks good or what may look like the goal may not be the move. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think so when I'm asking the question, does it help it or does it hurt it? Like, it's just like, if people are looking for social media to determine what your relationship should be like, first of all, y'all 2 different people altogether. You're
already, yeah, exactly.
You don't even know these niggas for real. Like, you know what I mean? And if you do, y'all still ain't the same person in the same situation, same energy, same, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Unless again, the goal is to just look happy, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you know them personally, say, no, I know them that they're happy, then that's absolutely fine. But social media again is just a crazy world, man. And people, I think people, well, the opposite end of that, because I do have to say this, because there would be sometimes to where motherfuckers ain't being treated right, like, you know what I mean? And then they would say, well, I do got dudes in my inbox. They won't tell their partner that, but they'll just be like, well, damn, these other niggas in my inbox and shit. And
that's when they'll start entertaining that.
Yeah, so it's just like, but maybe sometimes they need to hear, because if your dude ain't telling you, or if your female ain't telling you, and you got other people that's like, hey, you is kind of lit though, like, you know what I mean? And if they're being sincere with the shit, then it's up, like, you know what I mean? So I think that in that aspect, like, it can help motherfuckers, or like if you're in a certain situation, and just say you can't talk to your dude or you can't talk to your female like that, you ain't got nobody else to talk to, you might tap in with somebody on the inbox, you know what I mean? This shit, like, you know what I mean? And they may get some advice that you need to hear.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. We got Nashaya in the building.
Sure,
bro. You said because of how people perceive you affects your reality. Yeah, that's a fact. Very few.
Yeah, definitely.
Lala, she in the building.
Got Lala in the building. What's popping, lady?
Hi, you guys. Is my voice tiny and fat?
It kind of does. It still kind of sound tiny.
I wasn't even gonna say it, but yes,
it does. You still not.
What device are you on?
No, I'm back. I'm in the States, but I'm gonna go on from my computer. Let me go get something to eat, and then I'll come back in.
All
right, bye, you guys.
All right. I actually came in because did it freeze up? We froze? Or is that just on my end?
I see it froze too, but I can hear you. Oh shit.
Lauren gave us that goddamn virus.
I know, right? My shit say the page isn't responding. Hold on, let me see if we can get this thing back.
Hold on, I'm gonna say wait on it. Let me see.
My service looking like it was trash though. She said y'all hella frozen. I pop it in there. Comments popping in. But we there you go.
There you go.
Oh,
am I moving shit?
Nah, you still froze. I came out the matrix, bro. I came out the glitch.
No, I'm hot locking behind this goddamn freeze.
What type of shit is going on? Let me see something real quick.
Yeah, that's
no, you still froze. Try to refresh your screen or something. Yeah, Lala came in and dropped the whole virus off real quick.
Right,
a Sentinel.
Like, oh.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. I was gonna just pull the plug like, all right, y'all, it's been cool.
He said, at least you froze looking on point.
Oh, okay, good looking at. I appreciate that. Shout out, we got Valley Uno in the building as far as the book. We got Glow in the building. What's popping, lady?
Peace, what's popping?
We got Kerry Welch in the building. Brenda Jackson in the building. What's popping to everybody that's both tapped in on Facebook and on YouTube? We appreciate
that. We got Empress Divine in the building. She said, when you have no real life examples, where do you look to for inspiration when it comes to relationships?
TV.
You said TV? All that shit got you fucked up too.
But I understand that's a great question, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes it's kind of like a half and half thing, because I think that
you got to define what a relationship, what it looks like to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, that's how I would come at the question.
Yeah, because you can look.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? You can look at shit, look up, but then the reflection part, and then the internalizing it, and then to put it to real play in your situation, I guess that's how you'll see if the shit work.
Yeah, because I mean, you got them. Like, you may look at a couple, and that's the thing. It's one thing to have like say a couple or a person or whatever that you follow on social media,
right,
and they're just taking pictures of them and they female on a horseback or at the beach kicking it with wine, and like just little snaps and videos and shit with the hashtag relationship goals, you know what I mean, versus like somebody doing some shit like this, in a sense, you know what I mean, like on live, or actually posting 10-15 minute videos of maybe them and their significant other talking about certain things that they done been through, or certain little trial and error shits that they done had, or certain arguments and how they got through that shit, and certain little just, you know what I'm saying? Because now it's like at least a little bit more practical. You don't know if the niggas is telling the truth or not, I guess, but it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can still get something from that versus just, they smiling, hugging each other and shit, taking pictures. You know what I mean?
You took my idea. Hey, we was right there, because I was the same exact shit. And I was just going to say, are they showing you how to fight? Like, you know what I mean? And when I say fight, I don't mean argue, but like to keep your relationship at a certain pace. Like, you know what I mean? At a certain level of understanding. Like, you know what I mean? To fight, to keep your shit popping. Like, you know what I mean? So if it comes down to that, then, then we can have a conversation about the inspiration part of the relationship goals. It's just like, oh shit, they coming in there doing they Dougie and shit, like, and they showing us how they shit work. Like, you know what I mean? Even because even on IG, right? They get the people that's in a relationship but then you know you get to see what the shit look like. But then they have a certain criteria that they feel that they need to put out. Like you know what I mean, to where just like
Right.
okay, maybe did this, so this is how I'm gonna respond. Like a lot of that shit is scripted. Like you know what I mean, but.
Facts.
When it comes down to just having, just like you said, like a real one-on-one, let's sit down and engage, you know, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, what's that shit called? The Red Table? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of time to where it's just like, yeah, let's go ahead and bust shit down and show motherfuckers how it's working. Not that it works, how it's working. Like, you know what I mean? Then they ain't capping.
Speaking of that show, do you think that there's a you know, just with all this shit with Will and Jada and shit, just surrounding the show, outside of the show. You know what I mean? Like I haven't actually tapped in with the show, so I don't, you know what I mean? Like I can't really go into too much shit, but
right.
Just knowing that they, you know, kind of get deep. I be seeing certain clips and stuff. You know, they get deep on certain topics when it comes to relationships or, you know, things like that. But then yet them niggas would be, you know what I'm saying? BT slap, like just all the other shit, August Oslina and, you know what I mean? Just all the other stuff behind the scenes. And that kind of goes back to show like, all right, you know, they could be in a sense putting on a certain type of show at the round table, but when it comes to real life, like they getting caught up in all types of, you know what I mean?
And see, and you know, I guess we would need that side of the coin and shit too. Like, you know what I mean? We would need that. So it's out there for people to either, you know, say that's something that I would want to be a part of, or that's something that happened. How do I deal with that shit in my own personal relationship? So I guess, you know, I guess they could win in that. We got Tanya in the building. What's popping, girl?
Peace.
She said you cannot determine. I'm sorry, that shit jump. You cannot determine couples' happiness from social media. People usually don't post the drama. That's exactly where we at right now. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, again, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not. Sometimes people, because you hear this a lot. Sometimes people say, well, this is not the spot to do that. Like, you know what I mean? We have our relationship on a private level to a certain extent. Like, you know what I mean? So if it's up, nigga, we finna show all the up shit.
Right.
Like, nigga, that ain't the spot to do that. Like,
right.
You know, because then you got to sit there with the IA ass face. Like,
right. Niggas gonna be asking you all types of questions. What's happening? Y'all good? And it's almost like, do you think that, like, for instance, when shit good and you posting all this shit and everything good, and then say some shit go bad and you start posting all the bad shit, do you think that opens a door for all these other niggas that's been watching y'all relationship to be like, oh shit, it's time for me to go tap this DM real quick. Let me see what's popping. They arguing and shit. The nigga got kicked out. What? Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be secretly like plotting on trying to take your dude or take your female or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a fact.
Oh, this shit crazy, bro. Watch out with social media, for real, for real.
For real. So, Glow, she said, is it safe to say people are just prone to be selective as to what is shown in the e-world because how society reacts to? Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, like, you know, when it comes down to that, I remember, I don't think I posted us as being in a relationship, but a couple years back, I had posted that that I was taking somebody out to eat, and we was gonna go kick it, and my shit went up. Like, nigga, hold on, where's everybody coming from? What's going on? Stop the press,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? But it was just like, and then, but you know, I don't care because, like, you know what I mean? I'm open with my shit. I don't care what, you know what I mean? But I remember people saying, because that shit got turned up a little bit, like, you know what I mean? And I remember somebody in the comments saying, like, that's why I don't post my, you know, relationship or who I'm fucking with or whatever on social media, because it has potential to ruin it. But I'm just like, you know, I'm opposite sometimes, so it's just like, nigga, if social media could ruin my relationship or what I got going on, then it wasn't popping anyway. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a fact.
It's kind of like if you put your shit out there, it's like a test. Well, you know, cause what's popping? Like, let's how good is we for real?
Right. Because
Like,
it's like you throwing shit to the wolves real quick, like you know what I mean. For the
hey,
ones watching from the sideline, they ready to eat some shit up.
social media,
Let some shit pop off and some shit go bad. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
that's when the real test going. You know what I'm saying?
it's a fact. Like, hey, you know, she was sucking dick since she was in the 7th grade. What?
Like somebody know her, you know what I'm saying? All these mutual friends and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like
But
somebody
see,
go, I know her.
yeah, and it's just like, and there's a meme that's been going around for a few years now. It's just like, as soon as you happy, somebody bring up, you know, what you did like in the 3rd grade and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
nigga, you still there? Like, nigga, I'm how old we are now. Like, should be crazy, but it's just like, I guess, it's kind of, I'm still kind of 50-50 with what you would post if you're in a relationship and you just post a certain shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that if you're posting it as it's unfolding, then that shit can kind of like sway either way. But if you post it after the fact, like, you know what I mean, and be like, damn, well, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we did go through this, but this is how we worked it out. And, you know, you know what I mean, or this is how we didn't work it out. Like, you know what I mean. So I guess
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on the flow of the situation and shit. Like, you know what I mean. And
Yeah, that's a fact.
the shit is bananas. I remember because I don't. If I feel like putting something out there, I'm gonna put something out there. But you know, on a different type of situation, I remember seeing my pops had a fucking Facebook and shit. Like, this nigga
Mm.
got a Facebook. This nigga ain't tapped in. Nigga, I ain't talked to this nigga 2 decades. Nigga, you got a
Right.
Facebook.
Right.
Sent him a friend request.
Bro, for real?
This nigga accepted the friend request. I said, oh, I'm finna like this nigga. Lit him up.
For real?
You got some shit to talk about. I can't catch you on the phone, so nigga, I'm a niggas on
Mm.
site wherever I see what is up. But anyway, I had that mentality, right? And there were certain people that were like, "Oh no, you shouldn't be on here. What do you it's social media. There's not a place for that." But nigga, I don't got this nigga number. This
Right.
nigga type in
It's the only place.
like nigga, it gotta go down right here, niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in the street know that on site shit. Like if I can't catch you word
Right.
shit wherever I see you at, it's up. And I'm sorry about that, but that's how.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as you know, there were certain things that I said that you know that I could have been like, all right, I'm gonna hit your inbox, like or now call me. But it was just like I was already that ball was rolling.
It was already too late. You can't take it back.
When it comes down to relationships, and that's why I say, like, you know, seeing things unfold as opposed to already having things, you know, figured out and structured and, you know, having it
Mm-hmm.
already taken care of, and then say, well, this is how we did this, as opposed to seeing it unfold. You know, that's however you want to do it.
So do you think, and then I want to get to Empress Divine's statement, but do you think then it would be better to just say you got into a relationship to kind of keep that tucked in a sense until y'all really like, you know what I'm saying, solidify to then jump on there and you know get to maneuvering?
I'm sorry. Are you responding to
No,
Empress
I'm
Divine?
asking. I'm just asking the question before I got to that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry because you directed me
Yeah,
down.
you was probably looking.
So
But
you said would it be better for you to like work it out first and then put it out there if you're going to put it out there?
yeah, like solidify it. You know what I mean? Or like when it's fresh and it's new, drop it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Hey, let me say this. Because there's certain people who are open with putting their relationships out there on social media. No problem. If you're one of
mm-hmm.
those people and you putting shit out there as it comes, then I feel like, and I hate to say it like this, but I feel like you owe the people, like, because we already tuned into your show. You got
Yeah,
to
like
own the
this is
show.
right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, don't put the shit out there, and then next week we're expecting this episode, then y'all hide that episode, and then come out and say, okay, well, in the last episode, said, nigga, we didn't see that episode. When did that air? We're
Right,
lost
right.
now. We need to know all this shit.
Yeah, no, okay.
So if you already have a certain standard that you set for yourself in your relationship as far as what you put on social media, stick to that script. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything is already up. But if you're the ones who like kind of like just try to, okay, yeah, we me and my girl having problems or whatever, and then you may post something just that, and then there might be people in the comments like such and such and such, and then you figure it out, and then okay, y'all, this is what happened. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, yeah, this bitch, what do you want? Like, woo!
Right off the rip, right.
Yeah. So, you know, again, I say this a lot, there's an art to everything, right? So I think that when it comes down to that part, you just gotta be, if you out there already, hey.
Yeah, you already been posted the show. You started it already.
With y'all show, man. So
yeah,
good. But if you one of them, you know, but you know, just circling back, I think that I'm sorry, I know you wanted to deal with Divine real quick. My bad.
Oh no, you was good. She just said I often wonder about the days before the internet.
Ooh,
and
internet, golly.
Yeah, you ain't no jumping in DMs. I mean, I was with the, you know, like she said, the AOL Messenger. Yeah, I was in that era, you know what I'm saying, the MySpace. But that kind of came a little later, you know, when middle school.
The access to thousands of people was not there.
Nah, so, hell nah. No.
So let me say this. So you kind of had to, if you feeling your chick, you kind of have to work it out with her. There ain't no, hey, I got such and such in my DMs. Like,
you don't know who like you at that point.
Like, okay, I got 3 other possibles.
Yeah, exactly. But that means I gotta go holler at them and you know what I mean? See if they really like me and
unless you was outside, because you know, if you was outside, then it's popping because you going to the malls, not only in your area, but you going to a whole different side of town mall, like hopping on that, like, you know, we used to rock, you know, hopping on that 68, like, you know what I mean, going to the north side and shit. Like,
yeah,
it just depends on what your shit is. Like, yeah, so, but at the same time, like, you know, if you, because, you know, social media just means you got access to a lot of people. But if you was outside, you got access to a lot of people too. But I think social media make that shit a lot easier. And I don't want to say this, but especially for the people who have a hard time communicating, you know, with people just to break the ice through, you know, you know, in person and shit. Because on social media, you get to break the ice in a DM. Like, you know what I mean? You could say all the proper shit in a DM, build up that confidence, and then when you meet them in real life, then it's just like you feel like you already know this person, you're comfortable with them and everything. Like unless they catfishing.
That's what I was just gonna say. That shit could be the total opposite of that. You know, and that's the thing about social media. It's like, man, somebody can have 100K followers, you know, 500K, 1 million followers, but in real life, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, that in-person shit you're getting, for the most part, you getting the most authentic version of that person when you meet them right off the rip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just pull up, spit your game, and, you know, see if that shit work or not type shit, versus like online. Now they looking through your photos. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got hella more access to hella shit, what you posting, what you talking about, who's on your friends list. Like, you may have somebody on your friends list, they like, oh, yeah, nope, I ain't messing with this nigga just off of that. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like, yeah, it would be way more authentic without all the social media shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're just getting right down to the point, you know, when you meet somebody.
She said, Miss Royalty, what's poppin', lady? She said, oh, okay, outside does bring outside, definitely not like this online. Oh, yeah, no, that's a fact.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you be outside, man. You probably got 3 in the south side, you know, 2 on the west side, 3 on the east side, 2 on the north side, depending on how you moving and shit. But if you just in your jurisdiction, like, you know what I mean, you just may have a 3-piece, 3 possibles. and the one that you and she ain't giving your ass no play. So you're like, all right, bitch, I got some other options.
Yeah.
Options. But with social media, it's just like, even if you don't got options, it look like you got options.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's crazy because, like, you know, I remember I had met this one chick and shit, right? I was working at AutoZone, and she, I had seen her, and we was talking about something, and then she immediately went to Facebook or IG and shit, right? And she was like, hey, you know, Woody Wow, oh, and I'm talking about confidently too, like, cause I think, now I had Facebook at the time, but I don't really give a fuck about social media like that. But she was like, yeah, I got such and such followers, and you know how many
I was just
I got on Facebook and how many followers I got on IG and all this shit. And I'm like, word, tell me more. Right. Interested in shit, right? So it's just like, you know, if I'm trying to, you know, even, and I'm not saying like, you know, because I'm just, you know, we engage in the conversation and shit. So even from the gate, I'm trying to get to know who you are. You pull out your goddamn phone and tell me how many followers you got. That's that. I'm an opposite nigga. I'm immediately gonna be like, oh yeah,
I don't care about none of that.
It's done. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And I made a song called "Social Media Flexing," based on that real life interaction. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
That's just like, who am I? Hell no. Like, I don't. I don't get it. Like, I wish I would tell a bitch, hey, man, I got at least like, you know, like.
Like, what the fuck is that? The hell is that gonna do? Like,
hey, you trying to get to know me? Hey, my views is popping though, B.
Yeah, I'm lit. I'm getting 500K minimum.
Every post, son.
I don't care about that. Nigga, what you got going on? Like
that shit?
Nah.
But I don't know, man. It's a different world, man. Like, you know, just like Empress Divine was saying, like, you know, it's a different type of time to where, you know, we didn't. I guess I want to say we didn't have that advantage. Is that an advantage in that sense?
An advantage? What, social media?
Yeah, just to have that advantage to say, hey, I'm popping. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know who you fucking with right now. Like, I'm popping on social media. Do you not know who I am? Like, and then you pull it up, and then you show this shit like, nigga, this is me right here. Like, you know what I mean? As opposed to, see, us, I think we had a little harder because, like, you really got to be popping. Like, you really got to be who you say you are right then and there, as opposed to, let me show you who the fuck I am. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, with that screen, like, hey, look at this. That shit could be a whole ass psyop. Like, nigga, it could be straight bullshit. Because at the same, like, you don't know, niggas is paying for promotion now. Niggas is paying for views. Niggas is paying for followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can manipulate this social media shit 1,000 times more than you could meeting somebody for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet somebody at the mall, or you know what I'm saying, like the skating rink or something, you know what I'm saying? And you start coming around they fam and they peoples and shit, you gonna see, like, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas, they gonna say who you really dealing with and shit for the most part, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that too.
Wait, I'm gonna go to Mandy comment, then we gonna go to the other one. All right. So Mandy said, but they act like they don't mind. Oh, excuse me. They don't act like you mind being a little popping in the beginning, and then later it's a problem. Hey, that's so.
Hey, yeah, that's true as fuck.
That's a hella true. Bag for real.
Now you got all this attention, and people always in your DMs, and it's like, damn, can I trust you? Because you know all these people, and you talk to all these people, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's real.
That's, man. Hey, look, and can I say I'm a victim of that shit? I'll be chilling and shit. I'm like, you're a player. No, I'm not.
Right off the rip.
Off the rip. Like, nigga, I just be chilling. But Ms. Royalty said niggas is paying for pussy too.
Hey.
Man, I cannot stress enough.
He said $40.
I joke about that shit a lot, about the $40 shit, just so it's clear. I do not pay $40. I pay $50. No, I'm fucking with y'all. But for the people who that's a pimp would say, them niggas is fucking it up for real niggas, right? Because now, nigga, you think I'm gonna sit here and listen to anything you gotta talk about? I got somebody that's gonna pay me $40 for this pussy.
Right, bruh. I'm telling you,
It's up. You call me ugly, guess what? This nigga finna cash me out for this ugly pussy, B.
that's that OnlyFans, bro. They got OnlyFans, bro. They got Twitter Uncut now. Like, bruh, they running it up for real.
So
It didn't turn into a job now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, that shit. It's bananas. It's bananas because again, like, with that, you just got access to people like that, and it's just like, well, shit. And this is the ultimate question: do you place the same value on your relationship, or does it come down to the person? I guess, and I would say probably it comes down to the person, come down to the people.
So, would you rather find a significant other in an authentic setting, like, oh, you went out to eat, you hit a bar, met somebody, you went skating, you went to you went somewhere, you know what I'm saying? You went out, met somebody, and tried to, start something that way, or would you jump in somebody DMs? This for everybody in here.
Don't ask me that. Hey, let me
jump in the DMs and try to get it in that way.
I'm 50-50 with it. Not to say that I'm like a DM motherfucker like that. Like,
I think it's the DM king.
DM. But every female that's on here that I hit your DM, post it now. No, but I've met some cool ass people via social media. Like, you know what I mean? On some real type of time to where because I'll be in and out of state and shit too. So motherfuckers pull up, and they pull up game is nice, and it's just like they don't know me other than me being me on social media. Like, you know what I mean? Or they may have got a glimpse of, some real shit that I posted on social media about my personal life, but had no problem pulling up. Like, they don't know me, I don't know them for real. Motherfuckers pull up, and then, we just created a bond and shit, like, you know what I mean? So I done met some cool ass motherfuckers on social media.
See, that goes like, dealing with us in a sense, right? Like, you have certain people on social media that's woofing. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? Like, posting for the views. You know what I mean? Like, we done been at this shit. I'm talking about literally going live with people we ain't never talked to ever. You know what I'm saying? Really showing our faces, doing the podcast. Like it's just been real moments all the way through. To, you know what I mean? And in a sense, kind of people feel like they know you in a sense when you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? And really being authentic versus like, nigga, you ain't, you taking pictures, but I ain't really seen you, for some hours talk or, chill with some people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, niggas is getting the real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but in a different type of setting, because again, you still and this is because I was joking when I said it earlier, but this is kind of like the advantage, that I was talking about. Like, you know what I mean? On the flip side of that, it's just like, because normally I see this motherfucker walking down the street, motherfucker, I don't like, you know what I mean? We don't have no reason to interact. I see you as a part of somebody that I may know. Damn, I may know this motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? So, we got 30 mutual friends. Okay, what's popping? What about? Okay, boom. Hey, what? Okay, boom. Like, you know what I mean? So then you can engage just based on having some people that you may know. Like, you know what I mean? So,
right.
As opposed to, like, you know what I mean, just going out there and talking to somebody. But still, I think in either situation, because I do both, man. Like, you know what I mean? Because I be outside and shit too. So I think shit, that's kind of hard. That's a good question because I bounced from both.
Right.
But just meeting somebody, but then again, I don't know, because meeting somebody in person, I have to say this part. meeting somebody in person, I think you kind of touched it earlier when you said when you meet them, it's right then and there. You get to literally, for the people who feel energy and vibrations and know how to read people's auras and know all the shit, you get a chance to, get that energy, that vibration, and how y'all the chemistry going and shit right then and there. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know what I mean? Even if it's because and I have to say this, sometimes we may put on a certain, a type of energy just to gain somebody's interest. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that plays a part in it, but still, like, you know what I mean? You get to see what that shit feel like, in person and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, hell yeah. Like, if you're doing it like that, man, like you can't, I don't think that in that aspect, I don't think that social media can compare to that. It actually pale in comparison. But this is where the key comes in. The same by you have to be the same person that you are online
Yeah,
or in
exactly.
person. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
Right,
just
right.
like shit, if you're the same person, then that they're gonna feel that same to a certain extent, they're gonna feel that same energy and vibrations anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's, that's a
definitely.
great question because I deal
I
with
can
both.
see. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like um, our era, mine probably a little bit more, but yeah, it's relative. Um, would be it was around like the little 50-50 mark. You know, I had
Yeah,
them days where niggas, if you was driving on the street and you seen a little something, you know what I'm saying, you may pull over, you know what I'm saying, say something, you know what I mean. Um, but you also, like I said, you also got the AOL MySpace day. Hey, let me get your AOL. You got MySpace? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like sinking
right,
in that way. Um, but yeah, a lot of like, at least for me, it was a lot of like the clubs and you know what I mean during that time. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
meeting people at the clubs, getting numbers that way, which is like, you know, one on one, we just texting or you know what I'm saying? Or we actually in each other's faces type shit
right.
versus social media, you could have. I mean, you could. I guess it's relative with both when it comes to texting, but social media, it's like you're seeing what that other person is really doing on a day to day basis, or however often they post and shit like that. But yeah, I guess it would be around like that 50-50 mark. Now though, it's probably a little bit leaning more towards social media for sure. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah, nah, definitely. Um, just again, man, and it just depending on like how motherfuckers function and shit. Cause it's just like uh there be motherfuckers who page, like say for instance, there's people who page don't be popping simply because they don't be on social media like that.
that's a
But
fact.
but if you have met them in real life, they be like, nigga, hey, yo, you kind of lit though. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Fuck the likes, fuck the views, fuck all that other shit. Like, you know what I mean? That don't really mean nothing at the end of the day.
Hmm.
As a person, like your shit is lit. As to where like the opposite of that is like, oh yeah, nigga, I'm lit. Like I dominate the social media shit because I can't dominate something that's outside of this shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
Right.
like, hey, nigga, this is my domain, and there's nothing wrong with that aspect either. You
Now
just,
look,
you know what I mean?
so going back, okay, to the question, does social media help or hurt, right?
Hmm.
Thinking about our parents, because we was like kind of like I said in the middle of the transition from like no technology to technology, pretty much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when we go to our parents, them niggas didn't even have, they had pagers, shit like that. Cell phones at a certain point wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like didn't even pop
Right.
off like that, or everybody just didn't have one. And
Right.
when you think about it, like, the older generation, they be the ones married for 20, 30, you know what I'm saying? Shit, 20, 30 years. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? A lot of these social media relationships last a year or two, and then, they back out on the market in a sense on social media. So it almost seems like that And I mean, I guess it's too early to say like, yeah, we met on social media and been rocking ever since type shit. But you got a lot of like, high school sweethearts and
Right.
people that went to school together. Now they just, they just rocking. But it's that in person, authentic, connection from the rip. And you just like, my parents been together longer than I've been alive and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And married longer than I've been alive. So it's just like, okay, how do we get those types of relationships using social media? Because it don't seem like that's the, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like them social media connections be nigga short.
Insta.
Instant, for real, for real.
Insta in, insta out. Well, I will say this. One thing that is I'm gonna say an advantage again. I have to use the word advantage, is because you can be dealing with somebody. Just going to the point you're saying, like, people date one person for like a year or two, then it's like on to the next. And I think that can be an advantage, because you can ultimately be like, okay, well, all right, this type of person, because social media, you're dealing with all type of different people, like, you know what I mean? So it's
Exactly.
like, well, this person is talking about this. Let me go see what this is about real quick, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, okay, that's what that was. So we're talking about just really experience, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay,
Okay.
well, let me go see what this motherfucker's talking about, like, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it kind of may seem like it's a situation to where it's a state or a place that creates instability. But I think
Mm-hmm.
that at the same time, if you're a smart person, like, all of those different experiences will create a certain stability or a certain standard within you that may, all those different experiences may let you know what you do and what you don't want based on the experiences that you had. But the opposite end of that would be just like how celebrities do. Like, you know what I mean? Celebrity relationships be like, all right, nigga, you know what I mean?
Right.
Celebrities fuck with celebrities for the most part. Not all of them, but So
Right.
it's
Right.
just
Right.
like, shit, we only got so many different people to fuck with. So if you see me with Nick
Mm-hmm.
Cannon this week, nigga, don't be mad if you see me with Drizzy Drake. You know what I mean? The next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like just gaining that experience, yeah. But it may be a situation to where, again, I got access to a lot of motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean? So shit,
Yeah.
well, I met this person, hooked up with this person. I don't care what they said. They like, I feel like what they're saying is good. So now what's up? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just
Right. Right.
so that shit went up. Let me go to the next thing. So, like, you know what I mean? But it's it's
Mm-hmm.
it's again, like, a lot of this shit be 50-50, man. I don't know. It's kind of bananas.
Hey, can you
Yeah,
see the name of the Facebook user?
that's Manny Soto. That's
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, she's on Facebook, on my Facebook. Because
She said
remember,
because
she was up there last time. Like, well, go ahead.
yeah, because people nowadays have all these backup plans in case it don't work out. With that mindset, you're just dooming your relationship from the get. I can see that because it's
Yeah,
you not necessarily in full commitment.
you ain't engaged. Yeah,
Yeah. And so it's like you just waiting for the slip up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what you was saying too is like, it's almost like, nigga, you gotta. Some people gotta go through the fire. Some people could just, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, skip the fire in a sense. Like, you gonna go through it either with one person or you gonna go through it with nigga 20. You know what I'm saying?
right.
To get that, what you were saying, that stability at the
Yeah,
end.
definitely.
So I guess it's like shit. If you however you want to be, but
Yeah,
I seen something. I seen something that said, you know, like just talking about like body count and shit. But I seen something that was saying like, the higher the body count for women, the less likely that they will be in a long term relationship. What do you feel about, like, what you think about that?
I would personally Me personally, I disagree with that.
Okay.
I guess it just depends on where you're at, where they're at when you meet them. That like there's so many different factors that play into that. And again, um, just being somebody who is outside, like you know what I mean, it's just like how you look. How would you look at that? Like you know what I mean? Because there could be certain situations to where it's just like if you got a high body count as a woman, right? And you like, damn, I got a high body count, but you're still a fucking woman. You're still a woman. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a big difference. But if you got a high body count and you still thinking like a little ass girl, or you know what I mean, just like you on some you still for the streets type shit, well you get what you put out. Like, you know what I mean? So it just depends on where you're at when it comes down to it. But there's a lot of men that's out there that got a high body count.
All right, but look.
Shit down. Like, you know what I mean?
The same person that I said said that he also said, well, he used this as an example. He said, a master key, like a man would be the master key, and or the key in a sense, and the woman would be the lock. I don't know if you see where I'm going with this, but it was funny as fuck when I heard it. I was like, that's kind of that's funny, but he was saying like the man is the key, the woman is the lock. If you have a key that can go into many locks, what is that considered? It's considered a master key. But if you have a lock and many keys can go into that lock to open the lock, he was saying that that's a shitty lock.
Well, see, the thing about that is that even if you have the master key, right, are all the locks not shitty? If you got a master key,
that's right.
All the locks are shitty. That means, nigga, you got like, you know what I mean? So
right.
You know, what that comes down to is just like, can you accept what the opposite of what on the opposite end? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, if you can't accept it, then why are you even speaking? You shouldn't even be talking about nobody if you can't
exactly
because you're doing the same thing. And this is what I was going to say. There's a lot of men that have a high body count, like you know what I mean. How do you scale that? Like you know what I mean. How do you put that on that scale? And if you can't put that on that scale and get real honest results, then we don't even need to have that conversation. It's like, because me personally, right? Just like I said, I was outside, like you know what I mean. So when it comes down to that, the last thing I'm gonna do is judge a woman on like you. You can't even like. There's some people that be like, well, what's your body count? Right? And it's just like, what, where would that take you to if you ask somebody what's their body count? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you just want to know.
Right, exactly.
Because now at this point in time, if you already feeling somebody, the respect is there, everything is up. The last thing you're going to be worried about is a goddamn body count. Like, you know what I mean? Especially, and I say this all the time, man, like, if you're a certain age, you know what I mean? You got to think about, okay, well, how many relationships have you been into? Okay, well, how many different, like, people have you dealt with? Just like, you know what I mean? If a woman dealt with, like, in our 40s, right? With 20 dudes. 20. To somebody like, nigga, that's preposterous. She dealt with 20 niggas, I'm not fucking with that. But you're 40, like, you know what I mean? So at least you was having sex at least when you was like, say 18. Let's just say that. Like, you know what I mean? That's what? A person a year? 20
now,
niggas.
Do you think that has something to do with what Manny was saying as far as having a backup plan in a sense?
Well, with that with that backup plan shit,
like I'm just like having a high body count and then you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about related it to that? Like if the shit don't work out, then fuck it?
Yeah, like on to the next. So that's why you would have a high body count because you're ready to, if
Yeah,
that shit
nah,
don't.
hell yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
saying?
in that aspect, hell yeah. But even if you just out living your life, like you know what I mean, sometimes you may find somebody who you vibing with, and you don't
That shit
necessarily
just
have to be in
changed
a
your whole
relationship.
life.
Yeah, you ain't got to be in a relationship with them sometimes, because I
Oh
think that
yeah.
sometimes people put themselves in relationships just based on the fact that they have good sex. Like, no, we don't need to be in a relationship. That one night stand was lit. I may spin the block. But then after that, we don't need to talk no more. And then I may find somebody else after that. Hey, that shit was up. The chemistry is good, but we're not supposed to be in a relationship. And I think that sometimes when people mess up by saying, hey, the sex is great. Marry me, bitch. Like, no, like, whoa, wait, stop. What?
Right.
We're not supposed to do that. We're just supposed to have sex and it's up. Like, you know what I mean? But, sometimes it just depends on where you at. Just like I said, so when it comes, just circling back, when it comes down to the body count, it's just like, who can you say, hey, your shit is too high? Like, and I understand, but why even ask? Like, if you vibing, and if that's the fucking straw that broke the camel's back, all right, girl, you didn't have 12 niggas, it's over. Be like, so everything that you went through prior to that was not real because now you tripping about this body count. Everything else is up. You
Yeah.
tripping about the body count now, just like, nope, it's a wrap. But again, the attitude and the mentality that you have and whatever you put out is going to be just like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, I'm not even worried about your body count. Like, you know what I mean? Like, niggas is vibing and shit. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
shit.
Yeah.
He said, nowadays people don't respect the fact that you're not going to just fuck them right away. See? Hey, that's because we're in the Insta.
They want it now.
Everybody, if you ain't fucking in right away, did we freeze him
And
up?
that's no, you good.
Oh, okay. I was froze for a little bit on my end. But if you're not, if again, niggas is paying for pussy. If they ain't fucking you right away,
I
you're
got this
looking at
$40.
hey, like nigga, somebody got 40. Like I got 40 for somebody. Like, you know what I mean? This bitch over here, you ain't seen it. You ain't seen my inbox is lit. Bitch, look.
Right.
Like, I got 4 tens on me right now. Bitch, you gonna play? You don't let me?
Yeah, they want it right now. If it ain't happening right now, all right, well, I'll catch you on the flip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
But
that's the
yeah,
shit.
that shit is it's just it's just fast paced and where we're at right now is just like it's dope.
Hey, but that's kind of like what Nishaya was. I forgot. Damn, he had posted this not too long. It was not too long ago, but he was saying something about that, like the the ones that get married are the ones with like low body counts in a sense. I forgot how he worded it, but it was like again, like the high school sweethearts, like you've been with that
Yeah,
one person and boom, like it's up. But if you find out like, well shit, especially if somebody in your area that like, you've been getting around, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like they like, I'm good off of her. Oh, you know her too, like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like that social media shit in a sense, like, oh, she got too many, they're gonna start airing out all her shit. Yeah, she done, did
yeah.
all that shit back in the day. I don't know if you want, you know what I mean? And
Oh, the rain station, nigga.
but I don't know. It's interesting to think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's why I say, like, when it comes down to that part, um, see, because let me play devil's advocate for that real quick. Even sometimes, and I have to say sometimes, that's my disclaimer. Even if you are you muted?
I'm not muted. I was gonna say something, but I'm like,
Oh,
it
okay,
just
okay.
went back to that the last episode we had.
Yeah, even if you have been, high school sweethearts and shit, it's just like, still, do you know that who you fuck with is who you fuck with if you ain't never stepped outside of what you fuck with? Is that
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
trying to say? Because I have to say that in a devil's
You would
advocate
never know.
way. Because it's just like, man, well, only thing I know is you. So how do I know if it's right or wrong? Like, you know what I mean? How do I know what I like, what I don't like? Even though I'm like, you know, not to say it like that. Even though I'm fucking with you, how do I know for sure that this is what this shit is? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, ugh. And me personally, before it was my son's mom, I told my son's mom, like, you might want to go explore the world. Not saying on that type of time, but you know, you might want to go because we met each other when we was young. I'm like, you might want to go see some shit before we try to just lock in some shit.
For real.
Because
Right.
we still young. I may not even be the type of nigga who you looking for, and you may not be the type of chick that I'm looking for. Like, you know what I mean? And just to have that level of freedom to where you get to the point of understanding yourself, it's just like, because I don't want to be that nigga at the end of the day. Well, it's all your fault. What about? No, motherfucker, I told you to go see what was out there. Like, nigga, we beefing because of some different shit. It don't got nothing to do with me, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, you just to have that option to explore. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta, because you know, you get some, and that's why that handcuffing shit to me is crazy, because it's just like, you know, you're gonna handcuff somebody, but then y'all beefing all the time because motherfucker, this bitch is fresh out of high school. Like, you know what I mean? And you just like, no, you belong to me. Like, no, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me go see this shit real quick, and then if it's up, it's up. Like, you know what I mean?
She said, "Angel's advocate." Let me play devil's. Okay, let me.
Advocate, my bad. That's lit. I'm gonna start saying that.
Well, I'm about to throw a monkey wrench in there and play devil's advocate real quick.
Right?
What if that body count come with babies?
Okay.
Does that change? Because look, you can have a high body count and have 4 babies by 4 different baby dads. You don't think that's gonna change something with somebody coming to holler at you?
Yeah, well, babies, that's a whole different demographic. Hey, if you got, let me say this, because I have to say this. There's, you know, it's a bad connotation.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
There's a bad connotation on females who got multiple different babies, daddies, and shit, right?
What's the difference, though?
Well, that's what I'm gonna get to. So when it comes down to that, they may not even be, because again, if we're talking about just saying, okay, well, me and this nigga didn't work. Like, you know what I mean? What I thought was good wasn't good. Like, you know what I mean? So therefore, I moved on to the next situation. Everything was good. Oh, I thought that shit was good. Hey, it didn't work out how it worked out. Went on to the next nigga. Like, you know what I mean? So of course there's some point in time to where you kind of like got to chill and shit for a little bit. But for the people who fuck with, I let disprove myself and shit. For the people who fuck with women who have multiple different baby daddies and shit, I think that they may see a certain potential in that female still, to where it's just like, you know, they may not have worked out, or it could be a nigga who like kids, like, you know what I mean. So I guess it just depends on how you fuck with it. But she may serve a purpose to that dude, but it's kind of hard because if you like, because you could have a low body count and still have, you know, hella kids, like, you know what I mean. It just depends on how the situation play out, and you could have just had it like that, like, you know what I mean. Just like the fuck raw, like.
You don't think that's equivalent in a sense? Like having 4 kids by 4 different baby daddies is equivalent to having 20 body count.
Body counts. It's the difference would be that you more than likely dealt with them for a long amount of time, as opposed to dealing with just like hella different dudes. Like, you know what I mean? So you got all these different energies that's coming in and out, just doing with the shit, as opposed to, well, I'm fucking with this nigga, I'm used to this nigga, I like his energy, so I'm just dealing with him. 4 people. But dealing with Doug, like, you know what I mean? So, but ultimately it's the same, but it just depends again on your mentality and how you receive that energy and how you put it out. In my personal
Right.
Oh wait, what?
And a full body count. 3 baby dads and a full body count. See, and that's the only reason why I'm like.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just reading it.
But no, yeah, that's why I was saying like it's sort of synonymous in a sense because it's like what I think she said it something about respect of self. You know what I mean? Like I get the experience for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I also can see the similarities in the two. You know what I mean? She said so. It's
Right.
20 cut
It's
off.
20 to cut off.
That's the limit. If you hitting 20, like it.
Yeah.
Nah. Because it's like, okay, that's why I said earlier, like, okay, shit, you got a 20 body count, you got a 15 body count. Where do I come in this? I'm gonna be 16, like just on like, is this serious? Is this not serious?
Right.
Like, what is we doing? You know what I'm saying? If that's how you moving, you know what I'm saying?
It is. See, it's crazy when it comes down to that. 20 at my age, at my age, 20, it may be. I don't know. It depends on the woman. It depends on the attitude, the vibe, how they carry themselves, and all the shit.
Yeah,
I think you said it right when you said it. Like, if you're vibing, that shouldn't really be a thing. You know what I mean? Because on the flip side, women can do that too. Because if we ask a dude, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't even ask. You know what I mean? I'm not asking. I don't want to know about your sex. I just keep that to yourself. We're good when we're good, and let's just leave that at that. We don't need to open up that door, because if I turn that table around, like, let's talk about some shit. How many women have you slept with? And if you can't answer that question, number one, you know what I mean? I can equally do the same thing and turn around and look at you like, and you know, I'm a medic too. So at that, I can look at that and be like, you're a fucking walking STD. I don't want to do with you. So I think that it's safe to say, if you respect that person and you feeling that person at that time, just leave that conversation alone.
Right.
Just leave that alone. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct, and that's why I don't ask, because and I, you know, again, it doesn't even make sense to ask. Like, you know, like, why would you? What are you looking for when you're
stirring the pot at that point?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's just like, okay, well, how many? Unless
I loved you until you told me you had 20 dicks. Like, that love shit's out the window now. 19 was enough. I'm 20.
I thought it was real.
Unless I'm gonna have to say this part. Unless y'all waited for a specific time to have sex, like, yeah, we gonna wait this out until we know it's real, and you go jump in that thing, and nigga, you just and you like, hold on, my nigga. what the fuck is this?
Why is it daggy?
You walk in that motherfucker, look around and shit.
Other niggas still in there and shit like, hey, bro.
But you know what though? I mean, on the flip side, we can't measure that. Like, females can't measure that. You know what I mean? So it's still a little bit like, you have to leave that alone. You have to leave that alone. You gonna fuck around and get your feelings hurt and shit. Some of it's just not worth addressing. Like, if you guys are vibing, you're vibing.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, nah, exactly. And I think ultimately that's what it comes down to. It's just like, you know, if it's you know, just like what Trigger just now said, if you got to question it, then it's like, nigga, where?
Yeah, exactly.
What you doing, right? Like, you know what I mean? So okay, but I don't know. I think that I don't know, because I don't ever remember. Well, no, hold on. Let me take that back. I gotta keep it a bang. I think I did ask somebody who I was fucking with that. And so, what your shit look like? But I honestly, I know what my shit is. Like, you know what I mean? But this is just getting to know somebody. Like, you know, it wasn't going to determine if I was gonna stay with them or not. We would just having like an open dialogue and shit like. But
Right.
yeah, all right, yeah, no, all right, cool, yeah, you sure? Yeah, all right, okay.
That's what it is. All right. Right.
But if it's a determining factor on if you're going to stay or leave, like you know what I
And
mean?
yeah, it shouldn't even be
different.
right. Yeah, no, that's real. So what do you think about the main topic, Lala? Does social media hurt or help relationships?
I think it depends on the maturity of the individuals in the relationship. I also think that it depends on knowing the position that you're in the relationship. So I think that if you're immature in your relationship and if you're immature, in the world, I think it can hurt because you're going to become insecure about social media. You know what I mean? But if you're secure in your position in that relationship and you're secure in your maturity, I don't see where it would be a hindrance. Now there might be some stuff that's like, hey, why the fuck did you post that? Or, who is this person? But if you have that maturity in your relationship to be able to discuss that outside and not air your shit out on social media, I think it's fine. Now I have had some let me say this.
Hey, I was that shit.
Stop, Lawan, don't do me. I can already tell by your face. Don't do me.
I got my glasses on. You should be able to
I have. You're hella goofy. I have been situations before. Let me say this, like, we don't need to follow one another on social media because I don't want to constantly get in text me. You know what I mean? Like, let me just say this. My ex-husband, for example, super insecure. We cannot follow one another on any type of social media because it would constantly be, oh, I don't looked at this person's profile and who the fuck is this? You know what I mean? So
right.
he wasn't secure in certain things, but I know where that insecurity came from because of the shit he was doing on the flip side. So, you know what I mean? I just think that there's a level of security that you have to have within yourself as well as in your relationship and knowing your position. So that's where I stand with that.
Yeah, that's a fact. They can for surely see some shit and be triggered.
Right.
It caused a whole argument and y'all been cool and shit.
Look, I'm trying to be cool with you. Don't make me hit that block button.
Right.
But at the same time, that those are also the people who, air their shit out too. You know what I mean? And we all see it. I mean, we all see it. You know what I mean? This bitch done, you just see it. So when people are immature in the relationship, I think that, it can definitely be a hindrance because that's when you start seeing people, I want to know her side now. I want to know his side now. You didn't said that. We know you guys are dating. What happened? What's going on? So I think that can be a hindrance.
What's up with Serious? See, she didn't
Serious
building.
It's serious. What's poppin'?
She said popping in real quick before I throw in my bonnet.
It's 8 o'clock. You talking about throwing on the bonnet at 8?
Yeah.
She go to sleep early.
China, you already in the 40-40 club? I think, no, yeah, hell yeah, she at the 40-40 club before I did. Yeah, so she.
Man, I feel it. I'm ready to put on pajamas. I want to get in the bathtub, put on pajamas, and get my ass in the bed. I'm like, after 38, that's just where it's at. It's cold too. It's cold here.
It's super cold here. It's not cold out here.
I'm in the mountains, so it's cold. When it gets cold, it goes from summer. It goes from summer to goddamn snowing winter wonderland. So, and it's like that. It just it makes you tired. You just kind of want to lay around and watch movies and drink hot chocolate and shit. So
that's the story of Nevada because that's how it happened out here too. But our winter don't hit until fucking Thanksgiving around this motherfucker.
Not here. I'm just bipolar. One day is summertime. You're dressed for summer. The next day you're pulling out boots. So
Hey, hold on. I wanna say something to Treat real quick. Damn, that's interesting. I went down. She said insecurity, or she said insecure ass niggas. If I'm with you, I'm with you. I understand that, but just say for instance, like and the nowadays, if you meet somebody on social media and you know what it's like to be on social media, and say you got friends on social media that you talk to, engage with, and do other things like that. Do you think that that would kind of spark a little bit of insecurity? Just maybe playing angel's advocate. I'm just playing angel's advocate right now.
What was your question again? Say it one more time because I didn't catch the whole thing.
Oh, so she basically said, like, if she's with you, she's with you. And it can be a level of insecurity when it comes down to social media. But say, for instance, if you're somebody that social media be popping, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, well, my shit is popping. So you may be like, well, no, I don't know if I want to fuck with you like that because your shit popping and you respond to people and you do this and you do that. So it could, I'm just asking, do you think that that could have a potential to not to spark insecurity, but just to have them kind of like look at the situation from a different lens?
I think that openness, though, you know what I mean? I think openness is everything. Being able to have that open line of communication, but that goes to the maturity and knowing your position in that relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if somebody were to say something or to comment, and you're like, man, girl, look, like, you know what I mean? This is just this person or whatever. Now, if you're acting funny or you're moving funny about it, then that's different. But if you have that openness where you're like, look, this is just who this person is or whatever, you can't expect people to change their entire life for you when you're in a relationship. So having, excuse me,
Some
you
people
can't,
change their whole life
you
being with
can't,
somebody.
you know what I mean? That has something that has to be something that person is willing to do if they see that it's a problem. If they're willing to do it, you know what I mean? Because that's when you start catching sneaky links and shit. If they're not willing to do it, they're still gonna do it. You just think they're gonna get better at doing the shit without you knowing it. So, that open line of communication of here, look, this person is this person, there's nothing going on, whatever. But that also, like I said, it goes into the maturity of the relationship, putting that other person at comfort in a
Yeah.
situation that may not be comfortable. You know what I mean? You have to be the one to do that, but you have to have the willingness to do that for the benefit of your relationship. Some people don't give a fuck. Like, man, I don't give a fuck. Think what you want. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you do get people who genuinely will try to explain and say, this is not what you might think it is.
You gotta have the
But I mean, at the
boundaries.
same time, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying you gotta have the boundaries.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, we know how social media is too, because social media is messy just in itself. So you'll get some people who are together, and then you'll get some people who are trying to toss that up and see what kind of lines they can push in that relationship. Like, let's see if they really are as strong as they're looking or whatever, and start trolling or whatever. So,
Right.
but it's up to you to be able to identify that and recognize that and nip it if you really care about that other person's feelings.
You're right, that part.
Yeah.
Serious said.
And see, we Oh no, go ahead. Because I was just gonna say real quick. We remember, Laura. When I had posted you on my shit.
Did you just government me?
I'm sorry, when we went through that, when I had posted you,
oh, you just gonna air our shit out?
Just on some.
We just talked about.
Yeah, no, just on some going to go eat shit. Like we were just gonna go eat.
Yeah.
Like, and I said this earlier. You weren't on here, so that's why I'm bringing it up now. But because you're going to be able to get the opposite end of what that looks like. Like, you know what I mean? But just posting we was going to go get something to eat, and motherfuckers like, oh, but just like you said, like motherfuckers trying to see where it's at. Like they trying to see what you buy. Well, who's this? And all this other shit. And for the most part, it's just like, well, nigga, like, yeah, we put in to go get something to eat.
Right.
But social media can be a place that can test your relationship. But it's just like if you don't feed into this shit, if you ain't too much worried about the little shit that's up. But I know
That's the main word.
And I'm gonna say it just like this, because I remember that Lala was kind of like, she was reading some of the shit, and then motherfuckers was inboxing all type of shit. So there was people that was taking it far, and I'm like, hey, don't feed into none of that shit. And then I remember her, she walked past me, poof, didn't even look at me, poof. I'm looking. I said, hey, come here. Like, what's hey? I said, I told you, don't do it.
That was young Lala, though. You have, since you make a disclaimer, like that was young Lala. I was on demon time, Lala. Like, hold on, motherfucker, you're condoning this shit. So it was, but at the same time, it was a different mindset that I had during that time. So make that disclaimer if you're going to tell the story.
No. I'm not. No, I'm just saying, like, in terms of
how it can be.
Exactly. It's just
how it
like,
can be. No, I agree 100%. It can be. And that's why I said, you know what I mean? It depends on the maturity of that person as well as knowing their position, in that relationship.
And see, and we wasn't, I mean, well, we was cool at the time, so we wasn't that type of time, but it's just like, but that,
you said at the time, like, we do we have periods and not cool? Like, what?
No, what I'm saying is that we wasn't really established as far as a relationship wise.
Right. So,
and that's what I mean. I just posted, we finna go eat. It wasn't just like, this is my new girl and such and such and such and all this.
It out.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the basis of the shit, and that got turned up because I'm not so public about who I'm going to go eat with, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, oh shit, like, who the fuck? Like,
well, even in that sense, you know what I mean? The individuals that were doing what they were doing at that time, also inboxed me saying literally that they was on some messy shit. You know what I mean? So it was intentional messy shit that they were just on some messy shit. They came out and said I was on some fuck shit.
Yeah, see, and
I bit into the shit and equally got on that level. Like, I will match energy. Like, don't put it past me. But again, I was in that type of time, like that, mature and to put this out there, that was some years ago, right? Maturity level of where I was at that time, that's just what it was. Like, fuck it, this is where we're at. So I did fall into the trap.
But see,
but I'm also with the shits. That's the problem with me is I'm with the shits, but I'm also with the shit. So it's like it can go either way.
Do you think if it's like the entertainment?
Oh, it was entertaining as fuck to them. It wasn't so much to me. I'm pretty sure Luan wasn't entertained by that shit. Luan was like, "Fuck all you bitches, stop communicating." But
I'm not even gonna hold you. When in the beginning, that shit was entertaining because Hey, let me say this real quick, because there was so many different people that came out the woodwork with a crush on me and shit. Oh, I had a girl. Since when? What happened?
Right.
But this Facebook, like, you know what I mean? So again, it's just what it is. But what I was saying to Self earlier before he was on, I was just like, certain people say don't put, if whatever you got popping with somebody else, don't put it on social media. And it's just like, well, if you don't got nothing to hide, like, you know what I mean? Or if you already know where you at, then I'm not, motherfuckers just chilling and shit. Like, ain't nobody finna come separate some shit. And if they do, then, let's see.
It wasn't never yours. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see where it's at. So I think that, going back to what you were saying, Lala, when it comes down to the maturity part and to where it's just like, okay, so, how do you if you're going to be in a relationship and if you're going to put certain things out there, how do you move? How do you show people this is how we're moving as a unit? Like, you know what I mean? Do you show the good? Do you show just the good? Do you show just the bad? Do you show, you know what I mean? Like, when y'all ain't, you know what I mean? Like, don't have a certain level of understanding, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So it just depends on how you move it.
Me personally, people who are in the comments, the channel definitely. You guys know I'm very selective over what I share, on my social media. for a reason. Like I don't never show you. You'll never be able to tell where I live or anything like that. Just because I do have, a certain level of privacy that I like. Um, I also don't like airing out, my personal shit. Like I'm not one of those people. Anything personal, I keep that within the walls of my own home, so I don't air out, my dirty laundry. If I'm beefing with anybody on social media, you would never know. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to go through and be like, oh, well, they're into it. You know what I'm saying? There's subs
Right.
going on. I don't do subs. I don't do messy like that. You know what I mean? I keep that within the walls of my house. And I'll address whoever it is that I'm having the issue with. So I think that people can't really judge, like, oh, how are they moving? You're going to see what I want you to see. And that's all I'm going to allow you to see. Plus,
Right.
I don't like, I don't like invasive. I don't like people DMing me like, hey, what's going on?
And that, right.
You know, sidebar, that happened with us recently, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get too far into that, but little inbox messages and just people trying to pry. And
But you gotta,
I don't respond to it. You know what I mean? Don't message me and ask me what's going on in my shit. It's not
that's the
your shit,
nosy,
you know
that's
what
the
I'm saying?
nosy ones, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's
Worry
like
about
by
your shit.
default too, just being that you posting on social media, it's almost like, because I've had people like, I'll comment on somebody's post and they're like, nigga, they pretty much didn't want me to comment, and it's just like, motherfucker, this is social media, goddammit, I'm gonna say some shit, you know what I
Right.
mean? So it's almost like the same thing in a relationship. It's like you got to be literally ready for anything to come your way if you posting, your relationship or things that you're going through. That's kind of like what Empress said, like, shit, if you're gonna start the show, like, we need to see some episodes and shit, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like, we
Right.
trying to see what's popping.
Right.
So
I've literally had people message me, you know what I mean, thinking that they're prying and shit, asking me questions, or like, man, girl, I don't even fuck with you like that before you inbox me and shit. Now all of a sudden, like, so you can see the intent behind, what's really happening. But again, like I say, I'm super selective on what I share, super private. My page is always private. I have to allow you onto my page for you to even see my content. So that's just me.
Right.
So sometimes I post on purpose because people be minding my business that need to mind their own.
Hit them with a 52 fake. Sometimes you got to.
Sometimes you gotta do that shit though, and that's a fact. And it's just like, because it's social media, and that's going back full circle to everything is all good, baby. We winning, baby.
So what's I seen Sirius say, I can't, let me see if I can find it. But she said something about
Did you
having
scroll down on that lot on that chat?
nah.
Yeah, because I was trying to, man, there was people saying a lot.
I
can't even.
like, you can still go back and click it and bring it up, but it's not gonna scroll on a screen.
I want to do commentary one time.
Okay.
But she said, as a proud tomboy, I wish people would move past. There it goes. You can't have friends of the opposite sex, especially now on social media. What do y'all think about that?
As a proud
Position,
And
being secure in your position. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You have to be secure in your position.
man, I didn't seen, and again, it's social media, so this shit could be skit. It could be a whole bunch of skits, or you know what I mean. I don't know, but I didn't seen something, and it was like, yeah, can you have, would you say, like a boy best friend or a female best friend, um, opposite sex, and they got they exchange phones, and then they find out that it's some. Oh no, what it was they called the best friend and was like, hey, yeah, me and my dude, we not cool right now, type shit. Like, what's up? Like, would you wanna pull up at Netflix and chill? And they was like, yeah, I'm with all of that. So it's like they be they just secretly waiting on your downfall, just in the back. Like, yep, I'll be best friend for a little bit, You know what I'm saying?
I think certain Gay dudes is like that. Like, nigga, they got access to all the females. They be at the sleepovers and all this shit. Let one of the females say, I want to see what you talking about real quick. I believe they'll take them down.
I think it's all the way around, though. You know what I mean? And what may have started as platonic, you know what I mean? Just being around one another and vibing can turn into a want, you know what I mean? You
Hell
may
yeah.
have had good intentions of like, oh yeah, you know, that's my friend, that's my homie, that's so and so. But shit, when you're around each other and you get to picking up vibes and liking certain things, it can turn into, you know, something different. So I think it's all the way around, but I think that boundaries are super important in that aspect as well. If you have a dude and you have a friend, you know, that's a male, they have to be as comfortable. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be like awareness, you know what I mean? Like how come I can't meet him? You know what I like, that shouldn't be a thing. So if that's genuinely just your friend, you know, then you shouldn't have nothing to hide.
Right. See, Carmen, she said, I have only 2 female friends and grew up with mostly homeboys. They might have wanted it but didn't try it. Trust me.
They waited.
Hey,
They're waiting for you to say something. Give them a little.
if you give them the smallest,
The smallest inch.
man,
They ready.
And I hate to say it like that because it's you know, there is some real platonic stand-up guys that's out there. Let me say it like this: it depends on how you met, right? If you, I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, if you met them through somebody else and it's just like, okay, yeah, it's my homie, such, okay, yeah, cool. It may be on a smooth like that. But if you met them just on your own merit, on your own accord and shit, and y'all like, oh yeah, we're friends. Like, nigga, what you think? Like, you know what I mean? Now, if you friend zone somebody, it may go up. But if you friend zone them, but y'all still kind of like in the mix, it's just like, nigga, I might.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
I might get that shit.
I think it's all about boundaries though, too. You know what I mean? I have male friends. I'm, you know, the same. Like males naturally gravitate towards me. I don't know their intent, you know what I mean? Let me just say that. But at the same time, you know, I know my boundaries and I think for the most part, you know pretty much who you potential in as far as like a dating person versus like, no, I'm gonna keep you in that zone. But you know what I mean, just having that boundary, like if you see like a little sexual gesture or like, hey girl, you know, we should, you know, but shutting that down and keeping the respect for the friendship, like, no, I'm not doing that with you. I think that's where it's at, but it goes all the way around.
If you shut it down, right, and it's like, all right, yep, you feel me, like boom, I got the, you know, I got what I needed to get off of that,
right?
But then you and your dude don't work out and you cry calling me and shit. Now, like,
right.
It's almost like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like opening that door back up. Hey. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that 100%, right? But at the same time, is that dude gonna be there and be like, you see what I'm saying? Like, is that gonna be from the friend thing, or is it like a come here, girl, come and cry on my shoulder? I got you. You know what I mean? So
I'm pulling
like if you know that about that person, if you know that person had any kind of sexual advance or anything like that at you, that's probably not the person you should be calling because they're trying to put their dick in you. Like you have to know that as females, women, let me say this for a fact, women, we know when a dude is trying to sleep with us. You know what I mean? Although they may not come out and say it, like we know. We just, you know what I mean? So that's your bad for picking up the phone and calling that man and disturbing his peace like that. Like that just is what it is.
Would you, in a sense of the friend zone, would you put kind of like DMs on social media in a sense, right? Versus the authentic, meeting somebody authentically, putting somebody in a friend zone. Would you say that that's like, I got options if this shit don't work?
Ooh, that's touchy because it can be. It can be. Yeah, it can be.
I think
you know what I'm
it
saying?
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But
He like,
let
I
me.
already know where it's gonna go down.
I have to. It definitely can be, like some backup plan shit. But again, it goes with your intent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me say this. I have a platonic friend I went to university with. And strictly platonic, you know what I mean? Like I know his girl, like you know what I mean? We've all kicked it. They've all hung out at my house before, like I've hung out at their house. I call him bro, you know what I mean? Me and him DM each other on Instagram all the time. Hey, how's everything? You guys, just checking in on you guys, like what's going on? Strictly platonic, you know what I mean? He's never advanced at me, I've never advanced at him. So I think you can have those healthy, different sex friendships, but at the same time not everybody has the same intent. I know his intent is pure. I literally call him my Mexican brother, you know what I mean? Super pure intent. So I think it's knowing and having those boundaries. Now had he tried to cross that line, you know what I mean, I probably wouldn't have that same friendship relationship with him.
Right. She said, "Bro, don't mean shit now. Thanks, IG." And that's like,
Let me pause
yeah,
and say, hey, y'all lit in the chat right
yeah,
now.
they going crazy right now, for real, for real. The chat is up. W's in the chat, for real.
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say the kind of like the social media versus the authentic. Like, do you think it's easier now to have, the opposite sex best friend, especially like that we have, social media and shit, versus like back in the older days when all of this shit wasn't like that, and your best friend was probably kicking it with you and your dude, and you know what I'm saying, like on that type of time, versus like now it could just be a DM or on some, hey, my dude's busy right now, let's go, catch a movie or some shit. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Right.
He said, go catch him.
That's still kind of borderline. Like, wait, hold on.
And that's still
Right.
like,
It is because it
Yeah, you
definitely
can't catch a
can be.
movie with your best friend. Like, wait, what's going
right.
on?
Friends on me. We go catch a movie. It's up. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, movie during the day, not the late night showings.
Hey, the movies is all dark. It's all
You
still
gotta
up.
go to the matinee, like it's matinee hours only, and you need a
Matinee
chaperone.
at 2 o'clock, you feel me? 2 p.m.
Let me say this: like, if I had, if my best friend were male and straight, heterosexual and male, and my dude had a problem with me. This is just me, you know what I mean? But if he was just like, no, I don't really want you guys going out, like, you know what I mean? Like that, like, I would respect that. Me personally, I'd
Right,
be like, nah,
right.
you know what I mean? I can't be out kicking it with you on a solo like that. But that's just me.
I'm reading the comments. They're retarded.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Hey, y'all is lit in the chat right now. Y'all crazy as hell.
Yeah, it's just sneakier online. Like, you can be way more sneakier. That's kind of like how I take it too. Like,
Oh no, we got cousin in the building. Let me. I gotta shout out my cousin real quick. I gotta give my a super shout out. Certified real. That's my cousin from
okay,
Chicago and shit.
peace.
He said if you came on to your guy friend, do you think he would have the power to try to turn you down?
Was
I don't think
that
so.
question to me
Well, I think it's just a general question, but yeah,
in general?
go ahead and answer it for sure.
I know. Let me say this with and like I said, I call him my brother, literally. But with him in that situation, number one, I wouldn't see myself coming on to him. But if I did, I definitely think that he respects himself as well as his wife enough to say no, like I'm not doing that. But I know, you know what I mean? I know that respect level that he has for his wife. I personally believe he'd be like, "No, you're tripping.
What if he wasn't married?
Come on, don't be moving the
Yeah,
goalposts, man." I don't know. I don't
asked
know.
because now we're talking about him not cheating as opposed to him not indulging in his desire.
I know, but see, I think that's different though. So our friendship wouldn't be as what it is. You got to remember, we all went to UC together, so we all, you know what I mean? We were all kind of rocking like as we were. So as far as him not having a girl, I don't know. It might not, our friendship might not be our friendship. You know what I mean? There may have been advances or something. I don't know. I can't speak for that.
See?
I know personally though, you know, knowing that he's married and you know he respects his wife and like we've all kicked it, and she and I went to med school together, you know what I mean? We have a bond. We have a bond that I don't think anybody would cross that line.
All right, let me. So, Karmic said, when our friend zone is not possible at all, ever, that means I'm uninterested. Can I respond to that honestly? I've been friend zone before. Sometimes that shit is different, and sometimes people get friend zoned in a certain time zone. Sometimes people get friend zoned for specific purposes that may not work in that situation at that specific time again. But there's going to be some times where the time presents itself. So, but if you stand on that, it's up. But some people, you know, they friend zone you for a minute, and this is why, you know, going back to what Self was saying, this is why dudes be playing that cut. They gonna play that cut for a little bit, but as soon as you give one spark of interest, then it's just like, I'm gonna shoot my shot for sure.
Right.
But again,
I agree with that.
Going back to what you were saying, Laura, again, it just comes back to, I guess, the respect of, you know, of where you at, you know, where you know, and me personally, I think it's just like how you met. Like if you met just them and you, just, you know, person to person, and like, you know what I mean, and then you friends on them, is, you know, it's still like, okay, yeah, it's possibility. But if you met them through somebody, then it's just like, nah, I would never fuck around with them because this is my people's people. So I don't really even know you like that. Like, you know what I mean? But
I think that just knowing your level of friendship, you know what I mean? Sometimes you rock too well, you know, in a friendship that you don't want to introduce any different elements that could fuck up the friendship. You know what I mean? Because once you start, friendships and relationships can be different. You know what I mean? Like, so when you have that level of respect for your friendship and you start, you know, incorporating sex and dinners and, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, who's in your DMs? That changes that friendship. You know what I mean? It has the potential to change that friendship. So I think that if you respect that friendship and, you know, you don't want to put any other outside influences on it, you know what I mean? You're naturally going to be like, no, you know what I mean? I love the friendship. I love how we are. Let's just keep this where we are. Not saying that you might not want to, you know what I mean? But at the same time, does your want take over or supersede, you know, that level of respect that you have for that actual friendship?
Right.
But I have, you know, male friends that I've never went, you know, like, no, I'm cool. And I'm gonna leave that friendship exactly where that's at because that's all I look at you as is as a friend.
Hold on, wait. Empress Divine said, like I said, women have more restraint / better boundaries. All right, Divine.
If we was to put the shit on a scale, I damn near agree to that.
Whoa.
Like, I don't know.
I think that's a toss up for sure.
It's a toss up. It could be, you know. But I don't know that like yeah, like she said, given the opportunity, if a nigga, I don't know that.
Let's say it like this, and you know we have to with that comment alone, we have to deal with, you know, who has to say so and who gets what. Like, you know what I mean, when it comes down to the sex part. Like, you know what I mean? So if a woman ain't fucking with it, she ain't fucking with it. So on that type of time, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? But man, I don't know. If it's not a 50-50,
Okay.
it's a 51-49.
See, Empress said, "What about people being friends with exes?"
I'm friends with exes.
That's
Personally, I am. I'm friends with exes, and once exes are exes for a damn reason, but that doesn't mean that you have to cut the friendship off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, especially if you started in a friendship, and you done tested them waters and they didn't quite work out. Like, all right, we're gonna have to go back to being friends. But I think it depends on how you guys broke up, the level of your friendship. So it's gonna be situational with like any question, because it depends on you, it depends on the level of respect you have for whatever it is that you have and what you decide to do moving forward from there. But I do have exes that I'm friends with. I mean, you ain't gonna catch me going to the goddamn matinee with them like you guys are talking about. But when I say friends, it means that if I see you in Walmart, hey, what's up? How are you doing? How have you been? Not that I'm getting on the phone, talking to you, texting you.
You're not kicking
like
it.
Yeah, so
Ain't no kicking it.
Yeah,
exactly.
with exes, me personally, like I don't like to like leave any situation on a bad note. If we have to, then we have to. But more than likely, motherfuckers are still cool. Motherfuckers are still up. So on that type of time, like hell yeah, like we can still be cool and shit. Like you know what I mean? Nigga, album up, like shit is up. So, but with that part, it was still. I think that's that's where the boundaries would come in. But sometimes people introduce their person like, hey, this is my ex. This is who I fuck with. Sometimes people don't. They just tell you like, hey, I used to fuck with this motherfucker, all type of shit. So I guess the level of going back to Laura, what you said, and that's probably going to be the common thread. The level of maturity that you have when you're dealing with a certain relationship. But if your if you know your ex is on some crazy shit, like you know what I mean, like girl, I told you can't nobody else have you, like type shit, then it's just like, all right, my nigga, like what, like what are we doing? But
well, I think that that friendship level with the ex, there has to be conciseness. Like, look, I don't want you, you shouldn't want me. Like, that's the only way we're gonna be friends. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, then you got, just like you guys were saying a minute ago, dude sitting there waiting in the cuts for your new dude to fuck up so he can slide back in. So if you have that level of, yeah, I don't like you, you shouldn't like me, but we're still friends.
I'm gonna just stick around. Nobody know you like I know you, so I'm gonna just give you pointers.
Let me tell you about when you be acting crazy right now. So I mean, some not everybody, not all your exes are meant to be your friends though either. So you have to know, what's real and what's not. Shit, I can't. I let me say this: I cannot be friends with my daughter's dad. Like the shit ain't gonna work. It won't work. Like we cannot be friends. We're not enemies, but we're not friends either. We share the same kid. Like that's all we do. We have the same child, but there are some exes that if you maintain a level of friendship and you guys are mature enough to be able to carry that out, then that's just what it is as well.
So because he said, man, I'm not having no ex as my friend. If I'm with a woman, she does not want me being friends with my big booty fine ass. See, look, so see, because you just big booty fine, and so that's how you're.
You already lost, pimp. You already been lost, brother.
Hey, you go back into the mix, and she's it's an automatically a wrap. Because that's what it's
right.
Who's that big booty? Oh.
And she fine
you
too.
look at your lips, all types of shit.
Yeah.
It's up. And then look, and then Empress say,
you not having no ex as your friend on your girl's accord.
Ultimately,
not because y'all ain't cool, it's because you respect your girl's insecurity.
that's what Empress said. She's like, I'm not secure enough to date a man that's cool with his ex. I don't trust
Oh,
that.
see, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, right, for real, like, and that goes back to what she was saying, like as far as the dudes having restraints. But see, it would have to be the same thing on both sides. You can't say, well, as a female, you can't say like, oh, well, I'm good, like I can have a friend, but and not do nothing. But you can't do that on
Yeah.
on your flip end. So it would just have to be across the board. Like, look, you just dealing with females, and I'm gonna just deal with the homies. Like, it couldn't be nothing else after that.
And that's what it have to come down to for real. And that would be respectable. I think that's if you're trying to establish something, something safe, something real.
With the friends with exes things though, because I'm still stuck on that. I mean, why do people feel like, I mean, I can understand like if they get on the phone and then they don't walk outside or something like that, like where you know what I mean? But what's the thing that makes it an issue? Because I see several comments like, no, you can't, I can't be friends with my exes. Or I can't date somebody.
What would y'all be talking about?
Sometimes, let me say this. Sometimes in new relationships, I'm playing angel's advocate right now. Sometimes in new relationships, your ex know you better than your new person do. So,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? So it just might be like, all right, well, let me go consult with somebody who really
knows me. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? To be 100% honest, I've had that moment. Like, am I just fucking crazy, or like is this legit? And I've literally had people like, no, you're wilding right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I know you have a tendency to wild. So sometimes it is like that. But I'm saying like in the aspect of, when people are saying like, oh, I can't be with somebody who's friends. Like, I can understand if the ex calls and now dude's walking out the door or something like that, like, to take that phone call, I can see where that would create an insecurity. But
I mean, even if you was in the house and he called and y'all sitting there talking about the Ravens game, like, I still like, why are y'all talking about football?
Right.
That's what you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
I can see it from both sides. I can definitely see it from both sides. But I mean, I've had exes call me and ask me medical questions and shit. And it's like, I still don't fuck with you, but you know what I mean? I'm going to give you that advice. Or,
that's,
you know what I mean?
that's
like
different.
that. Now, like I say, that's having that boundary. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be laying in bed with my dude and my ex calls me at 2:00 in the morning, like, hey, I gotta fucking man, look, I'm not the advice line. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So there's boundaries. There's, a level of
I was just gonna
respect.
say that those are the boundaries for sure. Like, nigga, that I'm in a whole ass relationship and you can't call me
Right.
That type of time.
Yeah.
Right.
If you got a question or something, I'm into something and you got a question, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if you calling just to chit chat and just, sit on the phone and talk for,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, remember that one time when we like, no, I
Right.
don't.
It ain't good.
That's different.
But he said,
But
call your
at the
primary.
same time, I would never take a call from my ex and like walk out the room or something like that either, because I feel like that's up to me to keep that level of transparency, all the way around. Like, I'm not hiding nothing sneaky. You know what I mean?
Just say, call your primary physician.
Hey, because you over here wilding right now.
Like, yeah, don't call me with no medical, you feel me, questions. Call your doctor.
Please dial 911.
For real. And that's the thing right there. Like she said it, exes be trying to insert their importance. Like, they still trying to keep a tether between that. And that's another thing too. It's like, I can almost guarantee the ex would have to be single to call or reach out to you if you was still in a relationship. Ain't no way they gonna be also in a whole nother relationship calling you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, let me say this and that though, right? And I might just be like an ordinary. Let me say this shit. But when Maya's dad and I were cordial and kind of like on a friendship level, we were both in another relationship. You know what I mean? To the point where I got along with his girl, he got along with my dude at the time, you know, and we were able to be cool like that. But I'm gonna tell you, when he didn't have a girl and he would call, I was like, man, you need to find another girl because you get on my goddamn nerves. Like, stop calling me.
Right.
So I can see, you know, where it would be a problem as well. Because some of them do, you know, some of them are like, damn, I fucked up. Like, let me see if I can fuck her shit up so she'll come back. So, you know, that can be a problem as well.
She said, hell no, exes try to assert their importance in your life. What?
Nah, for reals.
Try to bring
I
that.
can't have you. Nobody can have you.
They throw the little fishing line, see if it catch something real quick.
Right.
All right, hold on. Do I got a bite? I think I got a bite. She answered.
Especially if they're on social media with their shit. Let me call this bitch and be like, hey, what you doing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's when you start seeing all the, you know, toxic relationships and shit. Especially from
People
social
looking
media.
like-
It's easy to
Right.
DM somebody.
Looking
You know?
like Future. Hey, I was listening to the song the other day and it reminded me, you're like, boy, get the fuck out my inbox.
She said, I agree though. Exes are exes for a reason. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I say. I like to say that exes are just literally an experience. Like, you know what I mean?
I thought you were gonna say experiment. I was like, you motherfucker. Here we go. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
hey, experiment too. Some niggas is
right.
experiments. Like, you know what I mean? On some real type of time. But, you know, just the experience is just like, yeah, but if you didn't learn a lesson from that experience or even experiment, then shit, then they got that pull on you. They like, oh, you ain't learned your lesson? I can still call you at 2:00 in the morning.
Right. I still have access to you.
Yeah,
a lot of it is that though, checking that temperament, you know, it's checking the temperament.
Eggs.
Trying to
the
test
access.
the water.
If they feel like they still got access to you, they like, oh, I still got a chance. Like, it still might be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Oh, some of them are like that though. No, you know, some of them are like that. But again, those boundaries are important. Like, look, you can't call me like that. Like, it ain't cool. So, but putting that out there, you know, and being clear and concise with it, that's all up to the person, you know, that was with them. So if they're calling because you're allowing it.
right, exactly.
And then it's just like I think farming stuff, like, or whoever said, like, for what? What you calling me?
Right.
What's going on?
What do you want? Like, for real.
But it's I don't know. But I think that, you know, again, just like I said, I gotta play Angel's advocate. You know them best, so they may want some personal advice. Is there something wrong with giving them advice because you know them?
Let me say this though. Let me say this, right? If you're having, me personally, I feel like if I'm having relationship problems, right? The last person I'm gonna call is my ex-boyfriend about my new man, right? That's just me. Like, I don't feel like that door needs to be open to where I'm calling my ex like, hey, guess what this motherfucker did? Like, cause they're sitting there waiting. I'm like, bitch, that's what you get. Like,
but look, like, say for instance, like, if you're in a toxic relationship and for whatever reason you don't get no closure and shit, right? He'd be like, man, hey, I'm arguing with my bitch. Did we still argue because of this? Like, and they're sincerely just trying to get information. Would you not give that information? Are you so cold-hearted that you wouldn't give that information to your ex?
You know, I'm not a cold-hearted individual, right? Let me just say that. But at the same time,
that's all I'm saying.
Okay, let me say this. If my ex called me and was like, hey, remember when you used to go fuck off on me because of X, Y, and Z? Well, this bitch is doing it too. Me being me, who I am, I'm gonna be like, man, that look, what's the common denominator in the situation? It's you. You need to look at you. But at the same time, I'm also, you know, you have to, number one, before you pick up the phone to call your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend, you should have respect for their new relationship and be like, look, you know what I mean? You need to think that through because that person's not, you don't have access to that person anymore like you once did. You know what I mean? So if they're in a new relationship and you're calling them in the middle of their shit with your fuck shit, like, come on, man, enough is enough. I'm not Dr. Phil. Like, you get your shit together or you don't. I don't know, but that's not my problem anymore. But
you should ask your therapist.
exactly. Like, I don't. I mean, like I say, if my ex called me on some shit like that, like I can't answer that question. That's something you have to understand that to understand it. I can't help you with that.
So ultimately, exes is synonymous with best friends.
I was saying obviously like they can't be platonic. Like it's a wrap. You can't.
No, I think you can be platonic, but I think you just have to have boundaries set. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be boundaries. Like
Even with a best friend.
None of my exes are my best friends, so I don't know about
that.
I'm
saying like would y'all be okay with a best friend tapping in at 2:00 in the morning?
No, not if I.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this, if my phone is going off at 2:00 in the morning, somebody better be injured or some shit. It has to be like critical. You know what I mean? Don't be calling me because you're going through some shit over there, disturbing my shit. Like I don't do that. But you know, if my best friend were to call me, asking for some advice about themselves, of course I'm gonna try to give them the best advice that I can. And not at no goddamn 2:00 in the morning though, while laying in bed with my dude. Like that's not gonna happen.
And then after that advice, they like, so what you up doing? what you got going on tonight? Why you up so late?
That's some calls and shit.
Right, it didn't turn into something else.
I just personally, I mean, there's boundaries. There's boundaries all the way around. You know what I mean? That's real. Don't call me at 2:00 in the morning, you know, because you're over there struggling with some shit in your relationship. Like, I don't, especially as an ex, don't fucking call me with that. You have no respect for my new relationship if you're doing that.
Well, what if? Well, let's take the 2:00 out of it. What if it's at just like in the afternoon and shit?
Again, it's just, everything is situational. You know what I mean? Let me say this. I've had exes call me like, hey, what do you think about this, and this? But on the flip side, I've had exes call me like on some positive shit too. Like, hey, you know, I really like this girl. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to tell her I really like. So it's just situational. But at the same time, it's your personal boundary. Like, what are you willing to tolerate and what are you not? Like I said, I have some exes that we act like strangers. I don't even shit. My daughter's dad, when I see him, I act like we just share the same child. We don't talk. But I have some exes that, hey, what's up? How you doing? You know what I mean? So it's situational. Me personally, like I said, for respect of my relationship, if my dude has a problem with it, you know, definitely those boundaries have to be heightened. In that situation, just out of respect, you know, because I look at it, if it were me, you know what I mean, would I want that being done? So if it's being expressed to me like, hey, I'm not really cool with your ex calling you, you know, that's some shit that if I respect my relationship, I have to look at that and be like, look, don't call me. You fucking up my shit over here. What Mike Epps said, you fucking up my family, bitch. But you know that
my girl ain't feeling you, it ain't happening, cuz.
But you know, when it's all said and done, it's boundaries, it's maturity and transparency.
Definitely. She said, no ex of mine better ever call me. I've been itching to break out and harm my clothes. Yeah. You know, when me personally, I have to say this: when you get to a certain level, especially if you gain closure with you and your ex again, I look at ex as experience. If you gain that closure, you be like, okay, that was a nice chapter of my life. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't think that it's necessary to not be cool with your ex, especially if they got questions about, their journey or their, new relationship. Because ultimately, it'll be them asking questions on some internal shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Jules. But you got to talk shit just a little bit. Like, nigga, you didn't learn that shit from when I left you. You still ain't no.
But you know what? The key word in that statement, LaJuan, was cool. You know what I mean? What is your level of cool? That's that boundary. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
That's cool. Like, all right, what level of access do you have to me? What level of access am I willing to give you? You know what I mean? So that cool
Give an inch.
might be cool to you, but it might not be cool to somebody else. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
if one of my exes is with, in a new relationship or something, I personally am going to respect that boundary and not, hey, what you doing over there? You know what I mean? Because I would not want that done to me. So, again, your level of cool, even though it might be kiki, haha, and innocent, you know what I mean? It might not be perceived as such by the other individual, who's on the outside looking in. So you got to respect yourself too, man. If you're just coming across as thirsty, like, hey, what you doing? Hey, what you got going on? And you just, it's just messy. Like, come on, you ain't moved on yet. Like, fuck, we ain't been together.
You hurt that man.
Right.
That man hurt. His heart is hurt.
28 years later and shit, you still checking my goddamn social media. Like, man, get a life. So that level of cool is tricky. It's a thin line.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, because he said, if you have to set boundaries, then there is no room for no platonic relationship with any exes. It's too much energy, and it ultimately cause a strain on your relationship. And if you're single, it's hard to move on. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have to disagree with that.
Yeah,
To a certain degree.
50. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to a certain degree, I have to, kind of disagree with that because, like I said, it's your boundaries. You may not even be in another relationship. You know what I mean? And your ex is just your ex. You know what I mean? But it can also be something to where it's like, we're cool on social media, or we still, when we see each other, I believe in not carrying bad energy. So, if I see my ex in the store or something like that, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? You know what I mean? And keep it pushing. So I have to disagree with that a little bit. Your boundary might not be for your significant other. It might just be for you. Like, look, man, like I don't want to go back on that type of time with you. So, and that's usually my boundaries that I put in place. Like, no, we're exes for a reason, and we're just going to keep that at that, but there's no reason for us to beef either. So
I've been in situations, I guess, to where you say, not I don't want to say that it's necessarily hard to move on, but you may be still kind of cool with them, and it's kind of like cloudy judgment on who you may or may not fuck with because you still tapping in with them, and whatever energy, when I say energy, I mean the good energy that y'all had. It's just like, okay, yeah, we cool. So when you're talking to somebody else, it's still like, well, I'm still, giving my ex this type of energy, like, you know what I mean? So you may not be giving your full potential relationship energy to, the new prospect or whatever. So it can, I see what he's saying. It can kind of strain it just a little bit to where it's just like, okay, I'm still dealing with them, but I'm also trying to move on. But because, you know what I mean, I'm still dealing with you, then I can't really invest in somebody for real.
Yeah,
like,
and I've been there.
I get it.
I've been there.
That's
I do understand that.
That's why you just cut it all the way off. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, if you run into him at a Walmart or some shit, it's if y'all still like, y'all ain't in on bad terms type shit, it's oh, hey, what's going on? How's it? You know what I mean? And then that's it. But like following each other on social media, I mean, I guess, but it just leaves room. It just leaves room when there's literally like a cutoff on social media, I block the number, all this shit, and I run into you at a store or at a club with my new thing or whatever. It's like, okay, what's going on? How you know what I'm saying? And then boom, y'all bang out. But if you got them on social media, that's just still keeps a tether between y'all on some. I'm gonna play the best friend role and just sit back and watch, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if they on that type of time, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But
what if your friendship? What if your relationship started as friends, though? You know what I mean? Like, what if you guys genuinely were friends, dated?
Y'all past the friends, though.
But hold on, you dated, and then you didn't really, fall off in your relationship. You were just kind of like, yeah, we're kind of better as friends. You know what I mean? Is that still a thing?
See, if they follow you on social media, right? And again, I have to say this part, playing angel's advocate. When it comes down to that, they may not have seen you in a different setting other than the setting that you guys have set for yourself. So if they see you on social media and how you interact with certain people, they may get the understanding of who you are outside of what y'all had. Like, you know what I mean? So niggas might be taking notes. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, this is how I'm supposed to treat this motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, I get it now. So
I know how to come back. You know what I'm saying?
I got it now, girl. Let me.
Right. Nigga, my comeback game finna be vicious.
You like taking baths with incense? Oh, okay, I got it.
You start posting on your story some incense and shit and sage and all that. He's trying to show her and shit. Like, I'm fucking with it.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I just don't like leaving bad blood. You know what I mean? So I try to cut shit off where I'm like, all right, there ain't no bad blood. So, but at the same time, I can see where there's, a problem. But you also, me as a female, I know my exes and I know which ones are going to try to slide back in like Flynn, and I know which ones won't, you know what I mean? So that level of access, like, no, you can't just be calling me and shit. Like, don't text me, you know what I mean? It's not cool. So
yeah, that's why it's like, I don't know, that code. It's like if they already done cracked the code, they may feel like they can do it again. You know what I mean? Like down the line or down the road. Like, look, I already done cracked the code once. Just give it some time.
Let me wait for her to start posting subs and shit.
Right, exactly.
Oh, like beefing? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I get where it can be, but again, I think maturity is.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right there.
Yeah, it's a big play. If I see one of my exes, happy with their new person on social media or something like that, I'm not gonna be DMing them and stuff like that. So
Empress said when she said, see, I believe when you date your friends, you sacrifice that friend dynamic for a romantic one once you hit. That's it. I see what you're saying. Because it's always like you see those people that's like, yeah, we friends, like we really good friends, and I don't want to jeopardize the friendship for that. Because it's like once you go there, it ain't really like no coming back from that. You know what I mean? At least that's what it seemed like. Like how could you go to that extent, get intimate, and then revert back to friendship?
I have to. I've done it. So, I've done it, and I have to say this. It depends. You know what I mean? Like I say, if I value our friendship over the way we split up, you know what I mean? Like I'm able to separate the two personally, but it depends on who the individual is too. You know what I mean? So if I had a friend, slept with them, and we fell off as friends and romantic lovers or whatever you want to call the shit, then we just fell all the way off. You know what I mean? But if we were friends and we didn't really, we just kind of like mutually was just like, yeah, this shit ain't working out. Like you're not the person I thought you was, or I'm not the person I thought I was. You know what I mean? We need to go back to being friends. I personally can do it depending on who that person was and what happened between us. So I've done
Do
it
you
before.
think a man would be able to get over? Because like it seems like again, if it goes from friend to intimate from the jump, whether like it just kind of automatically seems like the man was already on that type of timing from the jump. It just was waiting for the right moment. But since it didn't work, I don't under. It's hard for me to see like just going back to
I
what
don't
they
know if
in
you
their
can
mind
do
like they didn't even want to. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to
right.
stay in the friend zone, and
Well,
then
I
they
don't
got
think
put
that.
back in there.
See, I don't think that like it's an instantaneous thing though. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like, oh yeah, we're friends. Now we're fucking. You know what? Let's go back to being friends. You know what I mean? I think there has to be I think there has to be a little bit of space in between, that romantic relationship to, hey, you know what? That motherfucker really was my friend. You know what I mean? I don't think it's something that you can just do overnight. Like, hey, you know what? Let's be friends again, because there are still going to be emotions and feelings there. Now, when you have that time interval, you know what I mean? And you're like, damn, I was able to talk to this person about like this shit, or, this person was genuinely just there for me, through hard times or whatever, but that space, that amount of time to sit there and reflect, do you still value that friendship? You know what I mean? To me, is important. Again, I don't think it's an overnight like fuck you, get my PlayStation back. You know what I mean? But you know what? I still want to be your friend. Like, it's not gonna work like that. But again, time is everything.
Sometime, man, yeah, that's a tricky one right there. I think even after some time, especially if it wasn't like I
Good time
blocked you from
goes by.
everything, nigga. Blocked you from so I don't see nothing. I ain't seen you in hell long, and then all of a sudden it was like you get a friend request. You know what I'm saying from that same person, and they're just like, "Hey, look, I don't know. It for surely could go both ways, but it just seems like if y'all already done crossed the line, what would make it? What would make y'all not cross the line again if given the opportunity, depending on the circumstance?
Hold on, I'm sorry because I missed it. What was the question?
Let me see if I can find it. She said, um, so see, I believe when you date your friends, you sacrifice that friend dynamic for a romantic one. Once you hit, that's it.
You can't go back.
Like you can't go back. Like,
Ah.
or you can go back, but you still gonna have a little bitch in the back of your mind. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's damn.
Unless the only way, okay, look, the only way I could see that being a thing is if once he hit, the dude's like not interested. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm good off of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We could just keep it at this in a
Yeah.
sense. But if it was like the female, like, hey, yeah, nah, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like that nigga, oh no, I don't, I
It's,
don't know about that one.
that's kind of tricky. Damn. I think that damn. It's
That's a good
situations to where
question.
like to where um some people understand that like even if you do cross that line, then a friendship is gonna be where it's at. Like you know what I mean? And you have to be kind of like solidified in yourself to even understand what that looks like. Not how it sounds, but what it looks like. Because it sounds good. Like, yeah, we just gonna still be cool. You know what I mean? But in certain situations, it's just like if the sex is whack, nigga, we friends. Like, nigga, that shit was whack. I ain't even tripping about that shit. Good. That was friend. Because you're gonna get friend zoned just based on the fact that the sex was whack. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man,
See,
I would never do that again.
But
and
But
see,
that's
you guys it sounds like everything is being based off of sexual intent, right?
well, not completely.
just using that as an example. But
Yeah.
like for instance, if a female friend zones a dude, the dude is secretly in the back like, yep, watch when some shit go down. You feel me? But if a dude friend zones a female, I don't like. I feel like that's like, yeah, nah,
That's
it's like
it.
she's a
It's
friend.
the final
Like, you know what I'm
straw.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
That spills over to I don't want to fuck you. Like, you know what I mean?
Ultimately,
And if you don't want to fuck nobody, I don't think that you're going to have that type of, that want or that need to have a relationship, as opposed to if a dude trying to fuck you is just like, nigga, my whole energy is different. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I hate to play the sex game or the sexist game, but I understand what you're saying completely. So when it comes down to that, if a dude made up his mind, I'm not gonna fuck her anyway, then it's just like, well, we just gonna keep it as friends because I don't want to fuck you. But if I want to fuck you, and if you show me a little bit of action, it's up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm
Right.
saying like energy wise, right? Like, you know what I mean? Just take sexual chemistry out of it completely. You know what I mean? Can dudes
Yeah,
I hate you a little bit.
It's all about sex.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, seriously, like energy wise, right? Like, you know what I mean? Do dudes ever miss? You know what I'm saying? Just like, damn, like, is it all sex based? Like,
Do dudes ever miss? That was a good ass friend. What?
do dudes ever miss just like that? You know what I mean? That like that energy. Damn, that person was just my fuck. That like they was a dope ass friend. Or is it all about sex?
Like without the sex, like yeah, I miss that person as a person.
Right. So like you got maybe I'm not wording it properly.
You are.
So,
You ain't gonna get no immediate answer from me on that because I got.
I'm like, yeah, I gotta sit back on that one.
Because it's like,
yeah,
like you guys may have been having sex, but like that person was just like a dope ass friend. You know what I mean? Like fuck it. Like all right, damn. Like yeah, we used to fuck, but like that person was just like a dope person. Period.
Well,
Let me be their friend.
Let me well.
And the reason I asked that is
on some real type of time, you may find like a dope ass person, like you know what I mean. On some real type of time, you may find like somebody just like, man, regardless to what it is, like you know what I mean. Yeah, everything is lit. Like if we didn't, because again, I would have to say, playing Angel's Advocate, sometimes not having sex with somebody is having the best sex. Like you know what I mean. If you have that level of understanding the chemistry and everything is up, you just have mind sex. Mind sex sometimes is lit. Like you know what I mean. So if they're a dope person to you in your mind, then it's just like, nigga, these bitches who I'm fucking can't even touch her anyway. You know what I mean? But on some do I just miss you as a person? Like, and you just like, if you just, oh no. Cause sometimes like if you didn't like, cause there's some, there was a meme going around for a little bit that was like, man, how does it feel to lose the person that was giving you the best head or the best sex? And the niggas was like, I miss that bitch. You know what I mean? Just like, well, how about you mentioned just a platonic friend that, you know what I mean, that you may have like if you, I don't know, like this.
Well, I guess the reason I'm asking that is because, like, from the male perspective, do you guys? I guess this is what I'm saying. Like, do you guys feel like once you had sex with a female, males can just be like, you know what?
Person.
Like take the sex out of it. Like, damn, like that was my fucking friend.
Yeah.
The friends.
All right in the comments because no, Divine said it. She said dudes is gonna fold. So I'm just saying, like maybe you guys are getting like maybe that's just what it is. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I didn't. Okay,
friends is just friends. That's how I would put it. The friends is just friends.
When you cross, what happens?
When you cross, it's not that you're taking it past a friendship level.
So you can't. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but you now put yourself in a whole different tax bracket.
Yeah, you in a whole different category now. Like
it's all just dick and blunts. Like that's just what it is.
If it's not,
I even gave you dick and smoke blunt with you, bitch. Like ain't no going back.
It's levels. It really is levels. It's like You got level 1, y'all this where y'all at on level 1. If y'all take it to level 2, it's like, all right, well, I don't know if we can go back to level 1. It's almost like with this knowledge shit. Like once you know some shit, you can't just go back to, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
so it's I would consider it the same thing. Like once we take it to level 3, then level 2 and level 1 is out. Like they already done. I done got the full package now. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right.
It's either the full package or it is no package.
Now, see, now if there was the opposite question, just like, well, if it was just a friend, I miss my friend. I miss my friend. Like that was
no,
my
the
home.
friend is different. A friend without sleeping with each other is, that's just what it is. It's just a friend. But because we brought up the exes, and I had to ask from the male perspective, like once y'all fuck, like that's just what it is.
It's different. But I would, again, going back to what I was saying, like if you was that girl, like nigga, hey, that head game was vicious. I miss that bitch. God damn. Like you know what I mean? So then it's making red. But the friend, yeah, once you cross over that line, you can't it's no longer what it used to be for sure. In that aspect, not to say that, because there's certain people that still have a friendship after that part. So I want to make that real clear. She said, "Do y'all hold us hostage at level 3?"
and then Empress gonna say, "Yeah, right. Talk about that."
Right, see, hey, y'all lit right now.
Said, what if I want to level 1? Y'all already surpassed level 1. Ain't no going back.
Once you get past that, that's the whole thing. Once you get past that,
I didn't crack the code.
Not to say that it's not cherished, not to say that it's not heartfelt, but okay.
Use math, bro. Use
Angel's Advocate. If the sex is whack, we can go back to level 1 immediately. It's an easy bridge. The bridge is so small. It's just like we go back to that easy. If you gave some, if everything is up, then nah, it ain't.
She said we done been to calculus and you trying to go back to algebra.
Right.
Like shit, that's too easy. Like we passed that. But yeah, if it ain't all like that, then even when you do, even if you do go back to algebra, you ain't finna really be touching algebra like that. Like you may hit algebra once a month.
It may be
once every 3 months, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you ain't finna be just every day doing algebra again. Like, I don't see that popping.
That's just gonna be like on some Michael Jackson. Do you remember? That's gonna be it right there.
Right. Nah, for real.
Yeah, that's why people say your significant other should be your friend too. Yeah, no fucking doubt. That's
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with
if you ain't got that, then you shouldn't even be moving anyway. Well, you should be moving past the sex part because, like, again, some people establish friendships based on sex, and sometimes it's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be just sex.
That.
That's a fact, and I hate to say it like that, but it's real.
All right. Certified said, "Don't y'all think this is too much?" He said, "Look at all these scenarios we have to go through to make this friend thing fit." Yeah, man, cut them off and live for real.
Hey, cause when it come down to that, like I guess it's experience. When it comes down to it, so we can't. We got to take it how it comes. He said that's a.
For real.
Hey, but not yet. I remember the time. Hey, it becomes that's a real conversation piece.
Start reminiscing.
If anything, that's what it's gonna be like. Hey, and sometimes that sparks it.
I'm sorry. That's hella funny.
Hey, no, they lit in the chat.
Yeah, they hella funny right now.
1 + 1
certified crazy.
But yeah, nah, that shit. I don't know.
It's tricky. It's tricky. It depends on the person, but like, 'cause you definitely have the ones that hold it down. They on that type of time on that level.
Yeah,
But I don't know with social media the way that it is now. Shit, it's only gonna get worse on the opposite end.
Woo.
It seemed like what I mean. Like you connected damn near to everything, everybody. If you're not connected to that person, somebody that you know probably is. You know,
and they publicize that people who you may know, nigga. We looking at
right?
that nigga's only
Right.
no, you may know this
Right.
motherfucker too.
Right. Nigga got 150 mutual friends and shit.
Right.
Are you sure? Send him a friend request.
Man, they probably got bots sending out friend requests just on your behalf and shit. He said, see, before you would have to reach out in person or call the house phone, it was harder to have affairs. You can't call the house phone for that, huh?
That's a fact.
They could just drive by the house and shit. Nigga driving by 2 or 3 times and shit, hoping that they see your car and shit.
Slapping the music low. Hey, I'm gonna just play this song. Do you?
Yeah, the nigga gonna start catching on. Hey man, there's a nigga always driving by playing this song.
Hell yeah. Motherfucker loves Michael Jackson. God damn it.
He's not even gonna know that I got a whole secret, you know what I'm saying, secret code thing going on and shit. Here that nigga go again.
Can't nobody play that shit in my house. That shit. That's me. I ain't even gonna lie. I'll go to some psychotic shit like that. Like, oh, mother.
Uh-oh.
He said, but now you can send a DM and they go right to their personal line. And yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, we froze up again, man. Can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah, no, okay,
exactly.
Yeah, it's the archons. They're working.
They're working right now. They trying to tell us. Come on, man.
While we on
Unfreeze
this
for
brief
us.
interview, right? While we on this brief interview, I got this thing lit. Oh, there you go. I'm froze for a little
big
bit.
shout out. Oh, now yours came back. Shit still.
Oh yeah.
I see it's Lala, bro.
Did she bang out?
I think she got disconnected. The last time it did the same thing.
Yeah. Lala, you got them archons. What service provider you got? The archons.
Yeah, she got all the virus running through there. Like I said, the archons, man. I ain't seen bro in a minute.
A
The
couple of
archon guy. Yeah. We gotta bring bro back on here, man. Next time he jump in here, we gotta get him back on.
Yeah, no, that's a definite, man. Hey, this
I'm just bullshitting. Don't kill me, I promise.
Right. No, it just seemed like that because when she came on the first time, she had the little voice.
Yeah, exactly.
And the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
We just going off of observation.
The patterns, that's it. You know, you see the sacred geometry in the back,
right?
This show was lit, man. It was good to have her come on for the female perspective of this, man. For real. That female perspective really be everything.
Everything.
We'll be hella one-sided. Me and Woon in here trying to
Right.
chop it up and shit.
I'm gonna change my whole name as just like to like the what's that movie the Woman King. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm
They finna try to cancel us, bruh. They be like, oh shit, y'all see y'all appropriating.
But who said that earlier? Because I think it was Trigger. Was it Trigger who said the angel's advocate? Who
Angel's
said that?
advocate, yeah.
See, I ran with that for the rest of the night, Treek. So it's up. I
Serious.
figured that.
Hey, Serious came up here. She came on here before.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Gotta get you back on here.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. I know, she be in and out of hibernation.
She said, "Got to bring the eggs to the sausage fest." Hey, I heard that in your voice. Serious. Hey, Serious be her level of what am I looking for? I was going to say funny bone. Her humorous level is on some days. Like her shit be out of here.
Yeah, we had a cool little what was that, like a month? Maybe we was off for like a month.
Yeah, hell
but
yeah.
I think we back now though. I think we back. And shout out to all the goddesses in the chat, man. I see Trigger, she trying to paint a picture, man. No, I'm just
right.
We fucking with all of y'all, for real. The long way.
They say y'all.
Did you guys kick me out?
Huh?
Yeah,
y'all kicked me out or what?
Nah, it was the archons.
Oh, it's some archons.
The archons booted.
Whatever. That's your service provider. They like, yeah, we gonna shut them down. First we gonna make her voice hella small and shit.
No, that's because I was overseas. But I was also on my cell phone, so I think that the iPhone doesn't do well on this platform for whatever reason. But I was overseas.
Yeah, no, you good, back. You in the facts. You in the easy.
Oh,
y'all was blaming me.
Look.
Hey, Trigger, hey, block. Look. Who's that? Block her ass. Whoever that is, that's an archon.
Get her out the chat.
Who's that?
Hey, how funny as hell.
Hey, but Miss Royalty, you definitely got to come for a show. I just work.
Yeah.
We blocking. Hey, but nah, Miss Royalty she been rocking from like day one for real. Like, you know what I mean? For sure. Come pull up. Y'all see how we do it, man. We just be on here chopping it up. You know, we don't be doing too much.
Yeah. We finna I know we was talking about, I mean, and too, if y'all got any topics, please drop them in the chat. Cause we be coming up with topics last minute, trying to come up with topics, trying to figure out what to talk about. So if y'all got something that, y'all want to talk about, whether it's on a personal level or just a general level, let us know. We'll yeah, for reals.
Unless y'all want to see us go back to debates, because we was talking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
We was talking about that earlier.
I don't
see that type of energy, because I think
I don't know if I'm ready. Do you feel me? Like, I don't know if I'm ready for the Hebrews and all them niggas again.
No, you're ready. You gotta get ready. You gotta
get them niggas, man.
At least one.
It's been a minute since we done chopped some niggas' heads off.
Right. We got them
Man.
niggas on the friends list.
We need some new heads to chop. I don't want to deal with the same Hebrews. That's the thing. If we got some new, Christian heads or Hebrew heads or whatever, hey, point them this way, But
Yeah.
I don't want to bring up.
Let me play Angel's advocate. We don't mean to say chop heads off, but
It's something that happens. But
yeah, it's we're trying something. Well, sometimes you got to die in order to live. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
you can't become the butterfly without making that transition from the caterpillar and shit. So when we was in that type of bag, still in that type of bag. Let me say that. But now we're just chilling, we vibing with the people and shit, we talking shit. So just like Seth was saying, any topic is up. But
she said, "Leave the religious alone." Hey, that's how I've been kind of feeling. Like, leave them.
Yeah, we
alone
stepped out of that. We stepped out of that realm.
We stepped out of it for a cool little minute.
I
Financial
wanna know what happened.
literacy.
You
Go
said
ahead,
what
I'm
happened?
sorry.
No, I see Certified Real say financial literacy. That was one we were supposed to touch on
That's a fact.
a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard anything about what was it? What I can't. You guys don't do me because I know I'm gonna say it wrong with the man pods because I know you guys said that you were gonna like look into it again, but have you guys looked into it?
The manosphere?
Yeah, that. Yeah.
I haven't
Did
looked
you get
into it
the?
since the podcast. I mean, since the last time we did the podcast. We were supposed
You
to get
guys-
bro on here.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tap in with him. I think he gets off work at a certain time, but again, he's only relaying messages to the person that he knows personally. Who then I don't know if you join that shit or I don't know how the shit work, but a representative for that shit. So he's only going to speak for the person who we know who fuck with that shit. But I think that's still a thing. Like, you know what I mean? Because I don't think too many. I didn't know about this shit when I first heard about it. I still don't think that a lot of people know about what that is. But that's something to talk about, and we have to have women in the building when that show goes down for sure. So Lala, I pull up. For sure, all the women that's in the chat, y'all have to pull up because this is something that is just like a manosphere. Imagine a world without women. Can I say it like that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to because if they're trying to eliminate women from their world, right? That would be a world without women. But I want to know the logistics of it. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing in there? Are you women bashing? Like, what's happening in there?
Right.
But I see some good topics going in there. Inflation.
Shout out to
division.
The God. Right in the building.
Hey, what's good? What's good with Fred? I see you. Hey, seriously, you are silly. Hey, but what if it's only supposed to last a few years, and then you bang back to the shit that you get back to the regular scheduled program?
Nigga, you gonna be out of balance.
We need to hear from whoever's involved because what are you doing with the information that you're receiving? Are you taking it home and then applying it to your women, or you trying to pick up men at that point? Like, what the fuck is going on? So, like, we need the answers of what's happening in those meetings.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go undercover, y'all. I'm gonna go doing this shit. And I'm gonna
we gotta bust that one open for sure.
Yeah, I'm
tap in with bro.
Have a wire on me, then we gonna see what they do.
We gonna go infiltrate and shit. All right.
I mean, I'm all for, seeking knowledge and, having an open space event, but I mean, is that all it is, or are they trying to
Yeah,
completely
no, it
eliminate?
couldn't.
See,
Yeah, no.
just touching the surface real quick. I know that it's supposed to be a thing to where men like say fuck women just to say I want to fuck with women. Like I don't.
That don't work.
I was just going to say I don't understand how that works, but
It's a communal of men and shit. Talking
Right.
about their problems and shit. I
this
don't know.
person
That
that
just doesn't
one is a
seem.
man. What?
Yeah, nah, I don't know about that. We gotta get bro that's literally involved with that shit to come, cause right now they got a bad look for sure.
It ain't looking good,
It
right?
ain't looking too good. He gonna have to come and clear the air with what it's really about, cause we gonna have to we gonna have to put an APB out or something on Facebook and Instagram. Anybody is a part of the manosphere, you feel me? Tap in. We got some questions.
Right.
Serious C said if it's like a barbershop, like you know what I mean, to where you just having that man. Let me say this.
Right.
Now there is a space or spaces that men do carry out just man conversation, yada yada yada. But I think at the end of the day, they go talk to their chick or whoever, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that, like in situations like that, like when you're going through it or something like that, like let me just say for me, when my mom was living, I'll call my mom and be like, hey, I'm going through, X, Y, and Z, bounce my ideas off of her and then kind of do like what we were talking about. Like, am I wilding? Do I have valid reason to be upset? That's, but then you go home and you apply that,
Right.
like, what, baby? I'm sorry. My mama did say I'm acting fucking crazy and shit. So maybe I am acting a little bit crazy and shit. Let me tone down. But
Right.
if it's on that flip side and it's just like we don't need women, like
You got all that information for what?
that sounds like a little,
Right.
like a different type of party. Like,
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I mean, well, playing Angel's Advocate again, I think that this is the level of men just trying something different. Different.
Who's behind it though?
Yeah,
Woman.
I mean, cause shit. I don't understand.
A woman is in the background like D.
Somebody, bruh. Somebody with some feminine energy behind her.
Hey, that shit is crazy, man. Because again, I don't know. I think that even me personally today is just like I'm gonna talk to a man about some shit. I'm gonna talk to a woman about some shit. Like you know what I mean? About the same situation though. The same situation. I'm gonna see what you know what I mean. Like just see. Okay, yeah.
Both
You gotta be a
perspectives.
balance.
Yeah.
Gotta be a
You
balance.
get both perspectives. Absolutely. And I agree. I do the same thing. I call my brother and I talk to him about, what I mean? Certain things, like get his perspective. I get it, but what are you doing with it? I think that's ultimately what matters.
yeah.
What's the end result?
Yeah.
Transhumanism would be a good topic. Yep. Definitely. The incorporation of technology within humans. That's the mark of the beast.
Did you guys see?
Hey, when I had to read her whole thing up under that, I'm like transhuman. I've never heard of that.
You ain't heard of that?
Hell nah. They trying to make it
yeah.
men can yeah. But see, I've thought about that, but they're trying to do that for real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They with that.
Yeah.
I mean shit, that's like the shit that Elon Musk is trying to do with input a chip into your brain that lets you access the internet whenever your ass think about it, and you know what I mean? Like mark of the beast chip, how you can use your hand to buy shit, and they already got shit like that right now with Amazon. Like you can tie your card or something like that to your handprint or your fingerprint or some shit. So now
Right.
when you go in, you ain't gotta scan your card or nothing. You just hold your hand
Right.
over this shit and it scans it that way.
Like
They're
I
doing it
saw.
in some parts of the UK for sure. They're trying to go currency free, and they have those chips. But even with that, like Divine said, merging humans and robots, and I wanted to ask both of you because I saw it on YouTube, and I meant to ask, but how they have the AI rappers now because you guys both do music, like.
I seen that. I seen him. He got signed, and then the label actually released him. And then I seen a picture, maybe a couple days later, because it was a black AI rapper, but the person behind the AI was a white dude.
Right.
And I
Well,
guess
that was my intent, even with that, because AI, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's still human enforcement in that. So, is it really an AI rap? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Yeah, it would only be AI as if it was really a whole computer, like the computer system was running the AI. Like there's no human interaction with none of that.
right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they on that type of time yet. You know,
I mean,
Right.
what's the point though of an AI rapper? Like, what is that going to do for humanity? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? That's a waste of money.
man,
Well,
it's for the
I mean,
metaverse.
yeah, just to in my mind, just to let you know, like you ain't really it's really more on an entertainment type of situation. I have to say that I'm playing Angel's Advocate right now because there's a lot of rappers that may be revered as, hey, this is a real person right here. Like, you know what I mean? And their lyrics that they're talking about is real. Everything that they're going through is real. Like, you know what I mean? But if you put a known AI motherfucker out there, this motherfucker ain't real. So this is only for entertainment purposes. Like, you know what I mean?
Now, do
But
you think? No, I was just gonna say, do you think that that's gonna dissolve?
the
Like when you
influence,
Nah, like when you put it in the metaverse, right? Because now you can have a character look like a dog and speak English and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
right?
like, do you think that's gonna dissolve how we view the physical in a sense? Does that make sense?
Mm,
Like
Uh,
on a racist type scale, like we're no longer gonna be worried about what somebody looked like or the skin color and all of that type of shit and how they
right
look
there,
in
right
the
there,
metaverse because
right,
shit, I could play a frog, I could play a Lego character, I could play this with, you know what I mean?
right. And that, and I'm glad you said that because that's like, just dealing with the metaverse and these avatars, right? Even because it's kind of like the same game a little bit. Because even when you think about what studio gangsters is, right? It's just like, yeah, them niggas they embody what looks like what this shit is, but a lot
Right.
of the time them niggas ain't really that. Like, you know what I mean? They're just
Hmm.
characters for real. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, okay,
Exactly. Exactly.
people buy into the image so much they don't even care about the person. It's all about what the image is. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Right screen, front screen.
it's just like, it's just like they're, we're in a different time right now. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, well, shit. Well, niggas don't give a fuck about what the person is anyway. So we don't even need a person.
Right. He said, so you're saying it would take artificial intelligence to rid racism? Shit, I don't know, but it just seems like it could potentially dissolve. The only reason, like, because remember when that shit popped off with that AI rapper, people, like, I didn't see too many people talking about the person behind the AI rapper until after, like, it was like hella after the nigga
Yeah,
got dropped and, you
right,
know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got them people for sure that's gonna check the behind the scenes shit on all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably why they won't, even dive into that type of stuff. But for the most people that's in it, they in it. You know what I mean? Like they probably a black character themselves playing, like, you know what I'm saying, playing an AI, and they white too. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think, at least we coming into that time, man, where all of that shit gets dissolved. You know what I'm saying?
That's where it's at right now, or at least that's where they're trying to make it to be at. But
Right.
even like what you were saying, like when it comes down to one of the AI rappers that they put out there, he was black. Like, you know what I mean? So of course this is social media, so somebody can be like, oh, well, that motherfucker's black. But just like you said, behind the scenes he's white. Like, you know what I mean? So what's for real?
Yeah. She said, "What's the difference between that and Fortnite, though? Like, for real."
Right, exactly.
Like, it's just a character,
Right.
you know.
It's just your fucking I was gonna say Archon.
I'm telling you that B.O.B. track, he said it. The first line, what you do before you enter the game, creative player. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, shit, we all players, you know what I'm saying, in this game. They just created a game within the game, and you know what I'm saying? Like, now you can really create a player and play that character in the game within the game.
Right. And then he said, what happens when you forget that it's just a game? You hate
The creator. You feel me? Exactly.
Nasty.
Yeah, that shit real.
Golly. Said difference is who you are and really be. Yeah. So I mean, well, hey, golly. Hey, y'all kind of lit though. Escapism.
Nah, for real.
Golly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Damn.
But can you can say that? Yeah, that's
that's it.
yeah. Because the game within the game is for surely escapism.
Right.
But I mean,
Sure.
the actual Matrix game, I wouldn't say that it's escapism, because it just is. Would the game within the game be would be that same shit then, right?
It would have to be.
So,
But see, like Trigger just now said, she's like the game of life, and I think I would look at it from that perspective. But just like, yeah, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. So it's just like, well, shit. Are you a
zooming
player?
in.
Like, you know what I mean? Or are you an NFT for real?
Shit, we're avatars right now.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Hey, yeah, y'all lit. We could for surely get into the AI world.
It kind of goes back to the, looking at it from the creator perspective, like who created who and for what?
Yeah, for real.
Right.
Did I create you or did you create me? Like, who created what for what experience? But it is a dope conversation, especially when you look at it.
Man,
because I know LaJuan, you and I have had that conversation before, where it's just like, who created who? Why would I create you? But it all boils down to experience.
That's a fact.
It's a dope conversation.
Mm-hmm. And that's like you ever see Black Mirror on Netflix?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Remember that episode where they had the two black brothers playing that game?
Again, they took it kind of far a little bit.
They took it way far.
They took it kind of far. They need to relax on that episode.
They need to chill, bro. They need to for surely chill. But it's exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all, if y'all ain't seen Black Mirror, tap in with that. They got an episode in there talking about nigga playing an avatar.
Right.
Except they avatars was like these avatars, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I guess it felt the same, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit was a trip.
It was like, hey, well, we just gotta make sure. I said, hey man, look, what's the next scene for the look like?
Yeah, like cut this shit out, bro. Yeah, we got the picture, like
right, already
that's and that I mean,
hey, stop it, Impress. You gotta relax. You have to relax. She seen the episode for sure.
Yeah. Nah. She
You
said
gotta
the
relax.
opportunity. Hold on. Somebody it's a little different in that scenario.
Right.
That's funny though, but yeah, nah. She's hey, but
yeah.
hey, I guess that's a way to secretly, I don't know, get your shit off or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if
Or
you want to,
find
like,
out.
I'm secretly wanting to be a female or see what that's like. You know what I mean? But even then, that's almost like that's kind of like, you know, uh, all of the transgender stuff, and you know what I mean?
Right. No,
I'm a dude, but I feel like a female, so I'm gonna change all my shit.
it's a situation like, when you younger and shit, like, you know what I mean? Even in your teens, maybe in your dubs, if you play the game and shit, like if you played all the characters before, I'm playing Angel's Advocate, so please. But like you may pick like Chung Li. Like when you play Street Fighter and shit, you may play Chung Li. Like I know how to maneuver with bitch. Like
Hey, you see that? Hey, remember at the end of the episode
hey.
when when the wife found out and she was like, "Oh, so that's what we doing? Y'all gonna
Right.
do that in the game? All right, well, on the weekends, then nigga, I'm gonna do it in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Right.
take this ring
Exactly.
off, and we finna go out and you feel me, get it in." Hey, look, see, that's why all this shit out, man. This AI shit out.
I gotta watch it.
Nah, let me say this to that, man. After I seen that episode, I didn't watch that show no more.
Wait, you said what?
I didn't watch that show no more because I was like, all right, that's all I need to see.
Yeah, that was man.
But yeah, it's not to say it like that because I watched episodes, prior to that, and they, just on some different type of time. But that episode, I was like, all right, how far? I'm talking about I'm glued. How far is these niggas finna go? And they
Right.
took there. I was like, oh shit.
Man, I gotta find that one. Remember the light skinned dude that was talking about the numbers? I had sent you that video, Woon. He was an actor and shit too.
Oh, you talking about oh no, wait, not Terrence Howard.
Terrence, yeah.
Terrence Howard, okay, yeah.
He did an episode. It was a show kind of like Black Mirror, but it wasn't Black Mirror, but bruh, that shit was lit. The way that they portrayed that shit. I don't know if you seen that. I don't know if I told you about that one. But they was like on some AI shit, and the girl was going into the AI computer game or whatever, and then she ended up as Terrence
Nah,
in the game.
yeah, you did. You told me about that.
Yo, the way they did that shit was lit, yo. Like that shit was cold as hell. I gotta find that shit, bro.
I gotta check that one out for sure.
Let me see.
He said, "Oh, that's the episode right there." Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Striking Vipers.
But that was the Black Mirror one?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Empress Divine, she watched that shit.
She for sure watched that.
She tapped in for sure. But again, like it's all entertainment. But who was that?
It's all entertainment.
That was Papa Doc from 8 Mile, right?
I think that shit was on Amazon Prime.
She said, "What's the problem with the B movie?" What you mean?
The B? What B movie?
I'm not only B movie. What's Jerry Seinfeld? Didn't he play in a B movie?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you said Electric Dream. I don't know.
Electric Dreams on everything. That's what it's called.
Okay,
I
yeah,
swear.
that sound about right. Because they was on a game and shit, and then they what was they doing? They was tapping in something to where you just hit some type of thing on your
Yeah,
temple.
boop,
And
and he, yeah,
yeah,
lay back, and then she became Terrence,
right.
and Terrence actually owned the company that she was using to get into the game. And y'all gotta watch it, but Terrence damn near start trying to flip the script, like, nah, nigga, she's the game, and nigga, this is the real life. Like on this side, it was it, but that shit was crazy how they flipped it. But yeah, it's called Electric Dreams. I think it's like it might be the first episode, if not the second or the third one. But yeah, that shit was lit.
Oh, okay. You said the new movie about the warrior woman. Oh well, yeah. No, I can't speak up on that because I ain't seen it yet.
Which one? Oh, the Electric Dreams.
To Ms. Royalty about the she said the new what was it the woman king?
Oh, the Woman King. Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
He
Yeah,
said,
I ain't seen
"See, that's
that.
why these video games are the devil." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having to tap in with that woman kid. Though. I'm gonna see.
See what they
You
talking
know what
about?
they talking about. But I'm glad you said what you said about that self because I remember there was a lot of people that went to that what's that shit, the Black Panther shit. I'm talking about they got fully clothed up, dressed up,
Right, right,
like so imagine going dressed up, fully clothed up to that shit and then be like, hey bro, this ain't that type of movie for real. Like
right.
be like, hey, all right.
I wonder if they're gonna drop the history like that in there, like show them actually taking black people and selling them to the Europeans, or like if it's
That's
just gonna be on them some black empowerment, like you know what I mean, like
right.
try to skew the vision. I don't know. That
And
yeah, we're gonna have to go see that.
that's why I want to go see it like that. You know what I mean? Now it intrigues me to go, like, you know what I mean? Check it out to see what they got popping.
Right, right, exactly.
He said, waiting on my car. Oh, so you're going. You're clothed up. You put what you gonna throw on?
Nah. He said, would she rather me on that video game, or would you want me to be outside in that old school?
Outside, hopefully.
She said, white people leave that part out. They probably did. They probably did. But I've seen a lot of stuff just ever since that video came out, just talking about that tribe that they're actually, that the movie is about and what they was actually doing, in them times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
we're going to see.
well, they in terms of if she's referring to what you were saying about the flip end of what people would think it would usually be when
Oh,
they put out the story about what's my man's the Black Panther from Chicago, Fred Hampton. Uh, when they put his shit out, the movie was really based upon a dude who turned informant. Like, you know what I mean? It was based
yeah.
on him. Like, so you never know at
Hmm.
this point in time. It was about Fred Hampton, but they was really focused upon a dude who turned rat who ended up setting up Fred Hampton. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Al, like, everything is out in the open, is history. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It depends on how they want to put it out there.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm out there tap in with that, man. Soon.
Yeah,
For sure.
I don't even know the last time I've been to the fucking movies. That's just been a minute.
Right. Last time I went, that was at Everything Everywhere. That was a cool little minute. But yeah, man, it was a good little convo tonight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The chat was lit.
I was going to say, per usual, the chat was litty. Shout out to the chat.
Shout out to y'all.
You're the real stars. For real.
Yeah. We're gonna have to pull some of y'all in next time.
Right.
We'll go through some of them topics they was dropping in and let y'all know, before next week what we finna do.
Niggas just have a conversation about a show about all of them. Like, fuck it. Like,
it's gonna be one of them ones, them Brother Panic shows right there.
Right.
Yeah, we can run that. Always love, peace to y'all for sure.
Yeah, peace to the chat. We love and appreciate y'all for sliding through. This royalty said her phone died, but she still came back. Like, nigga.
Came back. She plugged that thing up and slid right back in here.
For real.
I have a question, you guys, because I walked away. What movie were you guys talking about? I heard you guys talking about a movie, but I didn't hear what the title was.
The Woman King. Is
the
that
Woman
what's
King?
The Woman King?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Matriarch.
Right. They got some new movies coming out. That new Avatar coming out in December. Number 2.
That shit gonna be lit.
Yeah, look forward to that one. That one's for surely gonna be lit. See how they, incorporate that.
Hopefully it's litter than how they put out the last Matrix. Even though I understood the last Matrix, it's still kind of like
it was.
Yeah, it kind of they should have left it at the 3. You know what I mean? The trilogy, then it's up. But they was like, fuck it, nigga, we need some chips. But the new Avatar, I think that motherfucker gonna be lit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they got a new one coming out in December. They reposted or put the original one in the movies. I don't know for what. I guess shit. That's good promotion on their behalf. Shit, they finna run it up again. But
right.
No, they got the second one coming out in like December. So we'll see what's popping. Yeah, hopefully that shit just as lit as the first one. It's always hard to do that with movies, you know what I mean? Like you drop that first one, that should be lit, and the second one be like, all right, yeah, it's time to end this whole, you know what I mean, this whole little thing.
Yeah, Serious Seed. There's so many documents, and I'll forget her name. On the lady who created the Matrix, because she also is the creator of the Terminator 2. So she's been on that, the AI tip, dealing with the Terminator and just dealing with the Matrix and shit too. And she's been fighting these niggas to ultimately claim the rights to, just to say like I'm the creator of this shit, because they took her whole shit and just, ran with it. Dope lady though, super dope lady. In fact, the next show remind me, and I'm gonna post some of her interviews in a chat for sure.
Sir.
The man queen. Hey, look. Play it. Gotta leave it. Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's up there for sure. Yeah, no, I tapped in like she like. What's that goddamn what's that lady who they took her DNA and shit, and they was doing like stem cell research. I think Oprah did like a movie on her and shit.
Damn.
I had her fucking book too. I think I still got a book somewhere too.
Right at the tip of my damn tongue. Henrietta Lacks.
Yeah, that's a fact. to me, on that type of time, that's like where, like, you know what I mean? Like how they did old girl who did the Matrix and the Terminator. Just like, you gonna jack my whole shit and then build this
Not give me no
whole
credit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because when we talk about dealing with the Matrix, everybody understands who deals with the Matrix, what we're talking about right now, and how we deal and how we move with certain shit. And then with the Henrietta Lacks, it's just like they did so much stem cell research. It's just like you know what I mean? It's just so much information that's coming from just flat out, just like just the black women and shit. Just like, nigga, don't you know how up this shit is, and you just gonna take this shit and run with it and act like you know what I mean? Like it's your own shit.
Mhm.
You originated
Yeah.
it.
And with Henrietta Lacks, they said the family, I think, is still fighting to this day to even get any proceeds from the stem cell research that these niggas is then banked on and made probably trillions of dollars. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Man,
crazy.
that's what they do, man. They capitalize off of our you feel me, all our shit.
Mhm.
Is that medical apartheid? Nah, I ain't read that. Is that based upon her on Henrietta Lacks shit?
Uh, might be, sound like it.
Yeah, it sounds like it for sure. Yeah, I gotta tap in for sure.
There's some good sources, man.
Right?
Some sources right now. Like that.
But yeah, dope show for
Another
sure.
one in the books, man. Another one
Yeah,
in the books. Y'all hit that share button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you already. I'm pretty sure y'all already tapped in with us. But
right.
for anybody that's new, that's tapping in, you know what I'm saying? Help the channel out one time for the one time.
Yeah, I know we're closing in on the year somewhere around there a little bit, almost.
Mm,
Well, I know we got a couple months left, but we kind of rounding out around this motherfucker for sure.
let's see. Oh yeah, yeah.
What we looking at?
Yeah,
About
we got like
you two,
3 more months.
3 more? Okay,
2, 3 more months.
that's bananas.
And we was consistent from when we started to, about that last month. Yeah, shit's going up, man, for sure.
People don't understand consistent. and
And yeah,
I'm saying that to say that 8 hour shows, 7 hour shows, 6 hour shows, every week. That's crazy.
yo, the work is being done.
That's crazy.
It's being recorded and posted. It's out. We can go back to the first show we ever did, and you know what I mean. Get all the gems and jewels from all of that. Like we got some seem like for everything except for that financial literacy so far. We got to definitely
Mhm.
put that
Right.
one in the works.
Got to get
Um,
that in. Probably politics. Did we touch politics? Nah. Nah. Nah.
It ain't worth it.
Nah. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
It ain't even worth it. That shit don't matter.
mhm.
Financial literacy and see the behind the scenes shit. People don't even know that part is up. We got so many resources when it comes down to that shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good show.
Mhm.
That shit's gonna be super lit. Like, the amount of networking that motherfuckers doing, talking to different people and got access to so much different information when it comes down to that shit. And people have been asking that, that's not even in the Jamesian circle. Hey, let's pull up and hey, put me on the show. We're gonna talk about it. So
Yeah.
that's probably why it's gonna be lit. That's probably why we ain't did it yet, because it's gonna be super lit. We gotta talk big.
Facts. Shout out to Chazak. I hope I'm saying that right. I might not be saying it all the way right, but I see you in the building.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm gonna just say, yep. I pronounced it right like 12 times, but nah, y'all ain't gonna.
Right, I'm never gonna try it. I tried it once, that was about it. You know what I mean? But I do see you though.
Right,
You
it's
feel me?
up.
I see you.
You get the
Shout
first
out to
one.
bro.
Up. Oh yeah,
But
hey,
yeah.
hey, Cuzzy, for sure. Because hey, we've had again, just like you're another person who I was referring to outside of the circle, to where it's just like, hey, you know, we didn't have that conversation. You didn't drop some jewels on me to where it's just like, hell yeah,
We might need to do that, bro. We might just need to set that one up, knock
yeah,
that shit out for real, for next week. And because we keep that shit keep just floating around and shit. Like,
yeah,
all right, we might as well go ahead and run that. So
definitely.
we'll be in contact. Probably throw bro in a group chat with everybody or something, and set that up.
I'm gonna come through with just my pen and pad. I'm taking notes. That
Yeah,
show.
for real. Me too.
Mhm.
Be asking questions, and that's it.
Oh look, hey, Empress just now said the same shit. That's a fact. I'm gonna just have my shit ready.
Yeah,
Like, man, it's
yeah, for reals. But yeah, nah, man. Again, appreciate everybody for sliding through. Um, this is another one in the books, man. For Your Mind podcast.
yeah, it's up. Shout out to the chat again. I know Cuzzy out there in Chicago, so it's past midnight out there, so it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? So for everybody that's outside of, Cali, we appreciate that. It's up.
Can I do a shameless plug real quick?
You sure
Please.
My medical clinic's coming soon, you guys. Stay tuned. I already got my business license and all my contracts and stuff, so it's
yeah.
coming.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on that. That's dope. And that's
Thank
big.
you.
That's really big.
Thank you. My next thing is contracting with the insurance companies, but it's there. It's coming faster than I thought.
Yes. Yeah,
Hey,
we're gonna
that's
have to plug that in for Shelly. Keep plugging it in once it really,
yeah,
you know
every
what I mean?
time.
Get it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
that's lit.
when we do this financial literacy, Laura got a whole time slot. Like, nigga, talk about it.
Right, right.
I mean, I'm like, la. I'm trying to be.
Yeah, I'm just out here trying to be like you guys, man. That's it.
Yeah, congrats on that for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it though. I am happy to see you guys back on and rocking.
Before you know it. Hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all got anything else y'all wanna say or?
Yeah, definitely. Can I say shameless plug? Because my shit, my plug be like, it's lit. Um,
Shameless plugging.
yeah, music wise, I'm dropping a project. Got that shit finna come up. I got a song for everybody that's on here right now. I got a song called Black Love, giving dedication and super appreciation to Black women. R&B singer, Yoey Composers, young guy. Up. The song is up. I didn't heard the hook that he dropped for that shit is up. That's one thing. And then I'm finally been hooked up with somebody who I'm about to have shoot this movie called Dirty Hustle with. And I sent out the script. If you want to audition for the script, you know what I mean? Like, it's up. Like, y'all know I do film and shit too. So, hey, this shit finna be wild. Like, you know what I mean? So, um, I got Self that's gonna he gonna be in that G thing.
I'm a certified actor at this point. After we did the last one, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in there. I'm in the building. I need a Grammy.
Yeah, no, so so we definitely working. 2023, definitely gonna be that year, and hopefully everybody has that same energy. 2023 for me, it just sounds like a weird year. Like, what the fuck is 2023? I'm being
It
serious.
did sound funny as hell.
The fuck is a 2023? That shit don't even sound for real.
Yeah, right.
So it's just like at this point in time, it's just like anything that you've been thinking about, talking about, wanted to do ever, try to, put together. It's that time. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Manifest it. Think about it. Bring this shit to life. It's up. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yep.
Hey, with that being said, I ain't got no
You
shameless
want
plug this time. Right.
I'm sorry, you guys. That was like my Tourette's right there. I'm racing, everything moving right now. I'm just playing.
That's silly. But yeah, I ain't got no shameless plug. The natural way only is always gonna be the plug for me.
That's up. Yeah, that's
Get
up.
all your
For
natural
real.
products, hygiene, all of that stuff there for surely.
If you haven't tried the exfoliator and the body butter, let me just tell you, definitely try it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's him. It's they we it's all natural. We gotta. That's the only way. You know what I mean? Literally, natural way is the only way. So
Right.
we try to keep all of that because everything with all them chemicals, man, we already know what that's doing to the outside of your body and the inside of your body.
Definitely. And that's damn, I gotta plug out toothpaste too. I gotta plug toothbrushes.
We got the copper tongue
black
scrapers,
soap. The black soap.
black soap.
My
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's definitely like a top seller for sure. That black soap is one of them ones for
And
sure.
it's real good.
Right. You know. So yeah, no, it's up for sure. Let me do this too. We in here. So y'all can see where the website is. I got that in there. But yeah, man. I'm about to go throw down real quick. I know it's late. I'm not, hey, but it is what it is.
It's earlier than what it is the usual. So it's up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We usually was closing around 12:30. Especially in the beginning, we was like, all right, look, we're gonna have to put a time limit on this shit because it's gonna be going up 12:30 every Thursday.
For real.
I'll never forget. There was one episode we looked up and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and Selfmade was like, "Nah, ain't no more comments." I fell out laughing. I was like,
I had to shut it down.
For real.
my thing is, like, I gotta teach in the morning, y'all. I'm out.
Yeah, right.
But no, it's good to see you guys back on, you guys.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, look, peace and love to y'all.
Yeah.
Another one, Free Your Mind podcast, man. To the next one.
Yeah.
Peace.